We're here for Pine Lodge Studios as we get ready for this big game ahead. It was Glenelg who won the toss, Captain Ben Mules. They will kick left of screen to the northern end here of Challenge Recruitment Oval with the assistance of a pretty stiff breeze. Benny Mills choosing to have first use of the breeze. Damien Cupido will head to full forward and be picked up by Paul Sherwood, and Ryan Willits will float across half forward. Looks like he's going to be picked up by big man, normally up forward, Jeff Smith. It's umpire Daniel Cowell who holds the ball aloft as we get ready to go here at Challenge Recruitment Oval for the big clash. It's Clark in ruck against Button. Clark gets the tap. First to it is backwall for Glenelg. Long handball out wide to Hinge. They can build quickly here. The Tigers going with the breeze. Kick to half forward. Could have been a push in the back, yeah, and it's been paid too. It'll be Luke Panozzo gets a free. The West Adelaide players are trying to make out that it's their free, but it looks like Richard Douglas will take the free kick from just outside 50 here at the Bay, and with this breeze, he's half a chance of getting the yards too.
Free was against Luke Donaldson for in the back.
And he comes now. It's a good-looking kick. Could have been just touched off hands, and it'll be one behind the opening score to Glenelg, and bringing the ball back in will be Peter Walsh, returning today for West Adelaide, the former Port Adelaide player. Wide and brings it out into the pocket and finds Ben Hollins. His kick is short and effective and finds young Greg Rowe. Rowe playing just his third game today for the Bloods. West Adelaide today in their bright new red Guernsey. Looks fantastic, makes it very easy to pick up the two opposing sides. His kick is poor though, and marked by young Lockie Button, playing in his first year of senior football. Goes across. It was an ambitious kick. He was looking for Ben Moore. Been intercepted though by Scott Bricknell. They've turned it over here though. Have the Tigers fighting for the ball now. Picking it up is Kane. His handball's good for Hinges. Getting some important touches early. Kick looks good. Oh, couldn't take the mark. Was Kirkby. Could have got a push in the back. Umpire says no. Handball from Mitchell back to Kirkby on his right boot. All on his own. There is Logan. And he will have a shot at goal around about 20 metres out, almost directly in front, and the chance to extend Glenelg's lead to 7 points. John?
Loose work in defence by West Adelaide, not manning up. A loose player, West Adelaide defenders not sticking to their men.
So it's Logan now, the Port Adelaide listed boy, who'll come in and should kick a pretty comfortable go through his preferred left foot. And that's straight umpire over the goal umpire's hat. First goal to Glenelg. They got a 1-1-7, leading West Adelaide yet to score. Glenelg kicking with the assistance of a pretty handy breeze here, but an impressive start for them. And you're right, John, they are being able to find targets pretty comfortably in their forward 50 so far.
Glenelg's midfield also getting their hand on the ball first. Hinge has started well. The ruckman Button's got his hand on the ball a couple of times. Westie's midfield not really touching the ball at the moment.
So back in the centre now, umpire Theron Philp throws it up in the air. It's Clark who gets the tap again for West Adelaide. Again, it was to Backwell though. He got it to Fisher, whose handball was out in front of Graham. He can't pick up the ball. First to it was Dragosevic, who showed a lot of courage there, going in for the ball, and in the end, young Graham, who's a late inclusion into this side, Matthew Graham, holds him up, and it'll be Theron Philp who throw the ball up again. Clark and Button in ruck. Clark did well, took it out of the air and then got a handball forward. It's going to be picked up now by Backwell though. He seems to just be reading his play pretty well. Lovely handball for Kane. He goes short and across the ground. Hinge is all on his own once again. We'll get to 51, goes bang, looks a chance, it's a goal.
Great goal to Glenelg then. They really opened up the play, centred the ball, Hinge running through, took the beautiful handball from Ben Kane. 50-metre kick for goal with the wind straight through.
Someone's going to have to do something about Hinge across half back. He is running a mark. I'm not sure who is working with him at the moment, but he has had 3 or 4 very important touches already in the 3 minutes that we've played of this game so far. Looks like Jesse Smith who has him at the moment. And I wouldn't be surprised if the runner's coming out shortly, just asking young Jess to perhaps play a little bit more defensive game. It's umpire Daniel Cowell who throws the ball up in the middle again. Clark getting his hand to the ball and has done particularly well there. First to it was Byron Murphy. He got bowled over. Ball ends up with Fisher on his left boot. Sends it to full forward. It's Seller who's coming out. Gets an absolute stinker of a bounce. Mitchell runs on top of it. Might have got a free for hanging on. James Seller dives on top of the ball for West Adelaide, and eventually umpire Damien Joyce will come in and have a bounce.
West ruckman Clark is getting his hand to the ball, but West Adelaide midfielders and running players are just not capitalising on that.
No, you did right. It was Seller in ruck, pushed it to the boundary side, and it will go over the boundary line with the courtesy of James Izard, who's making also his long-awaited return back to the West Adelaide lineup. Throw in around about 20 metres out from the Glenelg goal, kicking it with the win, leading by 13 points at the moment. It's Clark in ruck with Seller. Clark probably did the best, could have been held. A couple of West Adelaide players fall over each other. Thrown out wide now, and this is Donaldson, who's got first chance to snap it around his body. Kick was poor, only as far as Backwell, who couldn't control it and takes it over the boundary line and thrown back in outside of their scoring range now, around about 70 metres out from goal.
Peter Walsh getting into the game early, not getting significant disposals yet, but certainly making his presence felt.
Ball comes back in. Clark and Seller, it was at Kirkby and Ruck, who probably did the best of the tap. Taken to ground there, looked as if it might have been Dragicevic, was it? Getting up
it is,
now.
yep.
It's
Dragicevic.
Dragicevic, and the umpire will have a bounce. Clark and Button in ruck. Button got the tap that time, only as far as a West Adelaide player who missed it. It was Clark who got a handball to Graham. His handball was to Allen, looked for Button that time, and he's taken a player high, has he? Umpire said no. James Izard could have got a free kick for too high there. He didn't seem too fussed about it. He'll get on with the game.
Umpire's letting the game flow at the moment. Umpiring quite well, letting the game flow on.
Wrestle between the two ruckmen. Button got the tap, looked for Backwell, ends up back in his own lap. Picked up by Izard. His handball is ahead of the play. West Adelaide have a chance to move it forward here. Kick goes to full forward. Willits is unmanned. Smith gets there now. Tried to take the mark. Brilliant roving by Hollands. Couldn't get the handball away. Could have been taken high. He and another player fall to ground. Ben Mills is the one who forces it out, looking for Sherwood. Hide up against the boundary line. Gets a 2-metre kick, and it'll be thrown back in. And we're well within the forward 50 now for West Adelaide right.
Encouraging signs for West there. They're attacking players, going in hard, holding the ball in and not giving Glenelg an easy kick.
Button had the chance to take it out of the air, diving on top of it and getting a free kick is Damien Cupido. So his first chance to have an influence on this match, playing across the full forward line, being picked up by the Forest. Paul Sherwood, Damien Cupido, just a pretty important kick this with Glenelg currently leading by 13 points.
Cupido kicking into the breeze, 35 metres out, on his favoured side. Drags it.
Shocker, absolute shocker of a kick. It's just going to squeeze in for 1 point. Obviously tried to hit that hard and low to keep it out of the breeze, but well, it was a pretty poor effort. So one behind to West Adelaide. That brings the margin back to 12. Well, young Ben Kane, who brings the ball back into play, goes long and uses the breeze, looking for Smith, but it's Donaldson who takes the mark.
Simon McCormick.
It was McCormick, not Donaldson. Kick came in from Rowe, only as far as Fisher. He plays on quickly ahead of Hollands. Kick is good for Smith, and the umpire says it's out of bounds on the full, which, oh gee, it was touch and go. But
McCormick to take the free kick from centre wing.
McCormick takes the free. His kick is good for Rowe, getting some important touches early.
Rowe looking for leads up forward, not much on offer. Glenelg have flooded back and blocked off all avenues here. Greg Rowe now plays on. Not a good kick into attack. Glenelg with the ball. Bit of a scramble. Out comes James Izard. High kick into the full forward line. Glenelg clear.
So it's Kane with the ball now, has it in defensive 50, but chance to work it up to the forward line. His kick is good for Panozzo, he's pushed up from full forward, been excellent the last couple of weeks as Luke Panozzo in the forward line for the Bays. His kick is good, finds Douglas, the Crows boy, gets a very quick handball onto Backwell, sends it into the forward 50, ominous for the Tigers, it's over the back. Who's going to be first to it? Couple of players wrestle for it. The West Adelaide player did particularly well, he'll get it out now in front of a teammate. Diving on it was Seller, who did excellent, and the umpire says we're going to have a bounce here. So a good build-up from Glenelg. Just what's been the problem all year is they just haven't been able to find someone clean on the end of it, and that was the case once again.
Interchange, Ty Allen on.
Free kick to Glenelg here. I reckon this...
Byron Murphy off.
It's gone to Adam Fisher. Adam Fisher will take a free kick for a push in the back. He's around about 35 to 40 metres out, virtually directly in front, and from the angle that he's coming on the ground, he will have no trouble at all with the wind that will sweep from his right shoulder and should extend Glenelg's margin.
Vice Captain Fisher shooting for goal. And he's missed to the left-hand side. Just dragged it a bit. Glenelg 2-2. West 1 point. Yet to score. West yet to score.
West have got a point.
Up.
Ball
They
comes
have
in now
indeed.
looking for Dragosevic, trying to get to him was Backwell, and it was either a mark or free kick. The mark was paid.
Peter Walsh.
Worked up the ground, only got it as far as Button though, and he will take the kick ahead of centre and has a chance to go long. There's a number of Glenelg players who are free right towards the goal square. Fisher's pushed himself forward. Button perhaps just not quite the confidence. In the end, he gives the handball to Ben Mills, and he goes looking for a pass. It's an excellent kick, and he finds Luke Panozzo. Now, Panozzo, he knows where the goals are, does this boy. He'll take a shot for goal just outside the 50, but with the breeze, you'd expect he'll make the distance from here, and a chance to put Glenelg back out to 19 points.
Glenelg using the wind well, kicking with precision, finding the man, not fiddling around with it at all. Beautiful kick from Panozzo.
Hit the post.
Point to Glenelg. 2-3 to a point. Ball to be kicked in by Peter Walsh. Glenelg bottling up the play now, holding man on man with West. Kick in by Walsh. To a pack. Big ruckman there. Clark couldn't mark it. Ball's out of bounds.
A little bit stagnant, aren't they, West Adelaide at the moment,
Yeah,
John? You can just see that they're just not confident to try and run the ball or be creative into this breeze. It's always a difficult task, but they really don't look like they're going to be able to hold up the pace here. The throw-in's back now. It was Graham who the ball fell in his lap. He couldn't pick it up. In the end, he wins it and gets a handball out to Kane. He's got Button running for him. The young boy on the right boot wobbles one into the forward 50. Or mark wasn't taken by the West Adelaide player. Picked up now by Izzo, who gets a handball out in front of a teammate, and they can clear now. This is Rose getting some important touches, the young fella with the headgear on. Works around onto his right boot, snaps it up to half forward. Cupido's coming and smashes it into about the 14th row of the grandstand. That's on top of the cake stall here at Glenelg Oval. We might have trouble getting that one back for a while.
Not a good sign for Westies. Cupido had 3 to beat on that occasion and fortuitously punched the ball out of bounds. Throw in on Westie's attacking side, grandstand side in attack for West, 75 metres from goal.
So while we wait to just wipe the whipped cream off the footy, could make a return now. Now all of a sudden we're going to have 2 footballs on the ground.
Big fella Clark for West Adelaide's doing a good job in ruck, but not being capitalised by his smaller players. Good tap out. Daniel Kerr went for it hard, missed it. Jesse Smith got the ball for West. Now Izard comes out with it. But Glenelg clear. Richard Douglas gets a kick away. Peter Walsh on the wing for West Adelaide turns into the centre. Dangerous kick for West Adelaide. Glenelg capitalise on this. Streaming towards goal is Ben Moore. And it's a goal for Glenelg. Dangerous kick by Peter Walsh there, centering the ball into Glenelg Oval. Ben Moore swooped on that and kicked Glenelg's third goal.
Yeah, it was pretty good by Ben Moore. He read that it was going to be Brett Backwell who managed to spoil the Bricknell mark, worked around his opponent, had one bounce, kick on the right boot, goal to Glenelg, and they are looking dominant early in this quarter. We're only 11 minutes in and it's already Glenelg out by 20 points.
West Adelaide's little guys, Daniel Kerr, Jesse Smith, Izard, not been cited in this game, really haven't bothered the statistician too much.
Logan now on his left boot, wobbles one looking for McConnell. Oh, got around his opponent beautifully, has a chance to pick it up now, sends it back to the top of the 50. It's a good looking kick. Douglas is in best position to mark. Over the top came Kirkby. At ground level was Backwell, who somehow got around 14 opponents and then had a shot at goal. It's McConnell who takes the mark, runs into an open goal and kicks it.
Pure class from Blackwell, the ex-West Adelaide player. Showed his class there.
Justin McConnell, fresh from kicking 6 last week, kicks his first goal of the afternoon, and that is Glenelg's 4th. They got a 4-3-27, leading West Adelaide just 1 behind.
We anticipate this breeze to be worth 4 or 5 goals, and Glenelg are certainly taking full advantage of it at the moment.
It's umpire Damien Joyce with the ball back in the centre now. Seller's gone into ruck, and he will take on Clark, who's rucked the game so far for the Bloods. Clark with the tap, did nicely. Picked up now by Hollands, who swept off the back of the pack, only forced the ball far as Kane for Glenelg, got a handball to Rudolph. His kick is short and wide for Douglas, who was in plenty of space. The young Crows boy runs, takes one bounce, he's chased by Yezard, but the kick was an absolute stinker from Douglas. It was a handball from Mitchell to Allen. Could have been taken high from a tackle from Fisher, but it's West Adelaide who clear through Hollands. The kick is good. Finds Dragicevic, his fellow AFL former listed player. He's at right half back for West Adelaide. Umpire calls play on. Handball inside to McCormick. McCormick's
over
kick
to
is
Hollands.
for Hollands. Hollands still defensive side of centre.
Willits has got 2 to beat up forward, so he's not an option at the moment.
Inside, Backwell read it beautifully, took a very good mark, plays on quickly, gets it out in front of Mitchell, the boy with an absolute booming right boot. He goes with a pass, it's an excellent kick looking for Panozzo and finds him. Panozzo has the mark about 45 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle, but you'd expect with this breeze a good chance to make the yards from here.
Panozzo, no, this shot well. He plays and trains at this ground. There's a strong breeze behind him. He'll kick from the 50-metre mark. It's a nice kick, but just across the face of goal for a point. 4-4 Glenelg, 1 point West Adelaide. Westies really haven't put it in their 50-metre arc too many times this quarter.
Now, finding it difficult to get the ball ahead of centre. It's Ben Hollands with the ball, taking over the kicking duties from Peter Walsh. Drives the ball straight up the ground. It's an excellent kick. Bricknell could have been interfered with, and the umpire agrees with me. John Hinch just getting into his back, and he'll take the free kick right at the top of the defensive 50 for West Adelaide.
Bricknell looking for options from the 50-metre mark in Glenelg's attacking area. Play on's call. Over to Lucas. Over to Clark, sorry. Marked the ruckman Clark, who's played quite a good quarter for Westies. Clark got no options up forward, just bangs the ball in. Oh, good mark, Willits over the top. Ryan Willits, West Adelaide key player. Adam Fisher came over the mark, been called back by the umpire.
Strange decision from Fisher, wasn't it? There was no way that Willits was trying to work around the mark there, so just perhaps got himself a little bit lost of where he was in the ground, and it'll be the chance for Ryan Willits to kick his first goal for this match against his old club.
Willits he'll kick from about 45 into a strong breeze. Just out to the right and a behind. Really has to present himself today, Ryan Willits, if West Adelaide are going to make a good contest of this. Kick out comes to Ben Mules, the captain. Short one down to Graham.
Fisher now with the ball, still in the defensive 50 for Glenelg. Gets the ball to centre wing, looking for James Seller. Over the top was a West Adelaide play, but it was Mitchell who roved it well for Glenelg. Ball scrubbed his kick along the back line. Probably a disappointing effort for him. Could have been taken high.
Ben Grieger overran it for West.
Picked up by Murphy. Diving on top of it again was Kirkby. Ruwalt could have been taken high. He's gone to ground. Umpire says holding the ball. Well, I thought the first free kick might have been there, but in the end, it'll be James Yezard who'll take the free right half back for West Adelaide. They're 2 behinds, trailing Glenelg 4-4-28. We've played around about 15 minutes of this first quarter. His kick across the ground, looking for Bricknell. Did well to control it, the big fella. Goes short and across the ground, looking for Willits. He'll be met by Smith. Smith got his hands to the ball, but took it over the boundary line. Almost dead on centre wing here at Glenelg Oval, and it's the Bays leading by 26 points.
Yezard starting to get a few touches now, starting to come into the play.
Ball thrown back into play. Getting in front was Button, did well, got the tap to Logan, over Douglas's head. First to it will be McConnell. Douglas roved it well, got a handball out in front of Mitchell. He'll have a shot from here, the boy. Absolutely straight as a die. Was going nowhere else but straight through the middle, and David Mitchell kicks his first goal, and it's Glenelg's 5th. They go to 5-4-34, leading West Adelaide just the 2 behinds.
Mitchell can thank Richard Douglas for that. That was pure class from Richard Douglas with the vision, handball over the top. Showed his real AFL class in that one. Set up his teammate beautifully for that goal, and of course the teammate finished it off nicely.
So we haven't yet hit time on here at Challenge Recruitment Oval, and it is Glenelg with a sizable margin, 32 points. Ruckman at it again. Clark, he's done really well in ruck, but in the end it looks like a Glenelg who are going to clear. Fisher got the handball to Button. He got a handball to Graham. Works the ball across the ground, actually snapped it over his shoulder and got it to the top of the 50 marking contest. It was Douglas who got himself in front. The spoil came from over the top, and in the end there'll be enough players clamouring for that footy that the umpire has decided that he will tidy it up.
West Adelaide defence really under siege at the moment. Beautiful hit out.
Logan with the snap, one behind. So we're at 33 points now, Glenelg. It's Peter Walsh who has the ball in the left back pocket, brings the ball back across the ground, finds Dragicevic. He's still very much in the full-back defensive area, across the ground from Dragicevic for Rowe. He drives the ball up along the line. Kick gets to half-back now, marking contest. It was a good spoil from Button over the top of Jeremy Jakes and thrown back in just on the Glenelg attacking side of centre.
West Adelaide ruckman Clark come off the ground for a rest. He's put in a good quarter. Jeremy Jakes come on and replaced him.
He's been impressive, hasn't he, young Clark?
Got his hand to the ball many times. Smaller players haven't capitalised on that. Scrimmage develops on the wing. It's out to Adam Fisher. Kicks with the left foot forward up to the half-forward line. Free kick to Glenelg, and that's David Mitchell to take the kick. Pushing the back from the West Adelaide defender.
If Mitchell gets onto this, he can almost get it from here. And knowing the boy like I do, I reckon he might have a go.
Got to allow for the wind on this one.
He's definitely looking to pass. Short for Fisher. No, umpire says not 15. Fisher did well to get around his man. Gets to about 55, drives it for one out. McConnell, he's in the best position, but it's over the boundary line and going to be thrown in just adjacent the left goal post at the Glenelg attacking end.
Game's bottled up in the forward pocket for Glenelg. West Adelaide defenders just trying to hold on. Jakes goes up, gets a tap, down to Glenelg player. Scrimmage develops, it'll be a bounce. We'll see a few bounces today with this wind being a factor.
Not one player in the West Adelaide attacking area of the ground at the moment, so you can see that there's a lot of players around the ball. It's McCormick who got the handball to Walsh. His handball was for Hollands, was inaccurate. Turnover now. Backwell has the ball, tried to get a kick forward, but only as far as Peter Walsh and the former Melbourne and Port Adelaide defender sends it across the ground. His kick, it's dangerous. Mitchell was the first to get his hands to it, couldn't take the mark.
Piacente handball.
Piacente, the captain for West Adelaide, but it's over the boundary line, going to be thrown in after a pack of players took the ball over the line, right in front of the cricket club nets over there. Ball thrown up, Jake's got the tack. Ball came back into the centre of the ground. Douglas got a handball to McConnell. His handball back is for Moore. Moore can snap and have a shot at goal. Wobbles it out of bounds on the full. Missed absolutely everything there.
Ben, James Sellers played a useful first quarter. He's been in the ruck, been up forward. He's getting his hand on the ball, not that cleanly, but he's been in the play. Been
okay, hasn't he? Braden Fisher with the ball for West Adelaide to bring it back into play. Taking his time, going to get called to play on fairly shortly, you would suspect. Here comes the kick now. Good looking kick. Seller over the top. Got his hands, it was Button who got his hands to the ball, couldn't take the mark. Forced out a succession of handballs, and West Adelaide are away here. Looking for Willets. Got his hands to the ball, couldn't take the mark. Could have got one over the shoulder. In the end, he's taken someone high, and it'll be a free kick to Ty Allen, the young hard-nosed midfielder. His kick for Button gives a handball to Mules. Building from the other side of the ground now. Excellent kick for Logan. He can get to 48, have a shot at goal, and he's pushed that. That'll be another one out the full, I suspect. Certainly is. So not
using the ball beautifully then, Glenelg. They down the corridor, no messing around on the flanks, and Logan just didn't finish it off. Kick in comes, and that is that Piacente out there. McCormick it is, yep.
I'm only going by that bald head, John.
Short kick. Now centres it across to, that is McCormick.
It was Donaldson before, my apologies.
Down to Willets. Chest mark to Willets. Kick into the forward line. Cupido one-on-one. Taps the ball out to James Izard. Over the ball. Izard handball out, but it's Glenelg. The big ruckman Button picks up well, handballs well to 34, Mules. Who is Mules, yes. And they clear.
Ball is now with Ben Moore of Glenelg. His handball is for Kane. He's got it, ball to centre wing now, sends it to the top of the 50. Good looking kick for McConnell. Oh, took it on the first bounce. Met by Piacente, has gone back there to work off McConnell, who's been a marking target for them in recent weeks. Handball from Walsh. Got it as far
Daniel
as
Kerr. Daniel Kerr caught holding the ball.
Picked up now by McConnell. He's put it out in front of Mark Ruwalt. Can he get to it before the boundary line gets there? No, he did brilliantly. Handball inside for Backwell. He's going to run into an open goal.
This will be a goal.
Another goal to Glenelg.
Well played, Glenelg. Daniel Kerr, poor effort in defence there. Had the opportunity to clear the ball, but just perhaps looked for options and didn't get the kick away. Was tackled and not an effective disposal. Called correctly, holding the ball by the umpire.
Didn't realise what was around him, did he?
Admittedly, no leads on further afield, but Glenelg certainly capitalised on that. 6-5 to 2 points. It's more than a true reflection of the wind at the moment, Ben.
Look, it probably is, and you'd have to say that West Adelaide just been far too indecisive when they've tried to work the ball out of defence, and Glenelg have been able to clear far too easy. Button, great tap, got his hands to it. Graham first to the ball, running over the top of it now is Donaldson, and the umpire has come in and said he'll get it back off both of the boys.
The late inclusion, Graham's played a good first quarter.
Been okay, hasn't he, on the wing?
Yep. Jeremy Jakes gets the ball out for West Adelaide. McCormick, no, can't tackle. Glenelg, clear that away. That's Kane. Long kick into the forward line again. The wind drags that across the goals for a point to Glenelg. 6-6 to 2 points. Quick clearance. Back into play. Peter Walsh marks at the 50-metre mark. Short kick over to Jesse Smith. Jesse Smith on the wing, looking to go forward for Westies. Handball back to Peter Walsh, who's run 100 metres. Back to Jesse Smith. West Adelaide now fiddling around Daniel Kerr. Back to Peter Walsh. Back to Daniel Kerr, centres the ball, but straight to Glenelg. And that player Graham, who's played a good first quarter. Over to James Seller. Left foot, into attack. Not push in the back, paid to Glenelg.
Well, that was always going to be the case when your defenders run up like that and you turn it over. You don't have enough people down back to make the defensive play, and Rory Kirkby with that damaging left foot of his got the ball to Justin McConnell. McConnell not paid the mark, but it was Piacente who was told he was pushing McConnell in the back, and McConnell have a shot at goal from just outside 50. Wynn carries this, going to get the yards. I don't know that anyone's touched it. The goal umpire certainly doesn't think so. Touched. I think it was the field umpire who gave it away.
Obviously in a very good position, the goal umpire then.
That was a goal for all money until the field umpire intervened, I suspect.
Ball coming in. Kick to a one-on-one. No clear mark. Glenelg clear here through Ben Moore. Fisher across. Oh, big leap by the West Adelaide defender. Given away. Free for in the back. And the kick is to be taken by...
It's McConnell again.
McConnell again, yes. The long sleeve Guernsey. Showing judgment on a day like today. It's pretty fresh and breezy and cool down at Glenelg today.
So McConnell from 35 metres out, virtually directly in front. Shocking effort. Well, I reckon he miskicked the first one, and he's absolutely pushed that in a manner that he would not be proud of, Justin McConnell. So another behind to the Bays. Their lead goes out to 41 points now. West Adelaide bring the ball back in, grandstand side, looking for Jakes. Got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Pack of players converge. It was a handball that came from Logan. Got the ball to Mark Ruwalt, who I reckon might have pushed it.
From here it looked good, Ben, but...
crowd liked it, but I reckon it started to swing back once it had gone past the goalpost. So one behind to Mark Ruwalt. We've played 27 minutes and it's 42 points, the lead to Glenelg.
6-9 for Glenelg. It probably could have been 9-6. Ball kicked in again. Looking for Jeremy Jakes. No, he doesn't. He's taken the short option. That's Piacente out there. Plays on. Back to Peter Walsh. Peter Walsh got that. Clearing up to the wing. No mark to Scott Bricknell. Ball out of bounds. West Adelaide really struggling to get the ball up to their 50-metre zone. Ben Holland's ready for this throw-in. Jeremy Jakes. Scrimmage develops. umpire will come in and throw the ball up.
So we're about as far forward as West Adelaide have got the ball all day, and that is dead on centre wing. And that's a siren. That's a siren to win the first quarter, and it's Glenelg with 15 scoring shots, 6-9-45. Lead West Adelaide just the 2 behinds. We're at quarter time here at Challenge Recruitment Oval. If you want.
Right.
Share it around. C and D. Okay, so we're underway for the second quarter at Challenge Recruitment Oval. It's Glenelg with a 43-point lead commanding. Button could have gotten the back of Clark. Umpire said no. Backwell picks it up. Got a handball out in front of Logan, who forces the ball into the forward 50. Players converge. McConnell nearly took a spectacular mark. Got a tap out in front of Seller. He picks it up off the ground. Gets a handball out now looking for Douglas, who can perform some magic from there. Could have got a trip. Get the ball to Ben Moore. He's on the ground. Walsh tackling him. Umpire says, I'll have a bounce. So an encouraging attack from Glenelg going into this breeze in the second quarter after kicking with it in the second. Sorry, they kicked into it now, having gone with it in the first quarter. It was Seller who got the tap, only as far as was Bricknell. Picked up now by Fisher. He was met by Bricknell, and ball's taken over the boundary line and will be thrown back in. Just outside of West Adelaide's defensive 50 now. They're really going to need to get a move on with the scoring in this quarter if they're going to have any chance of staying with West Adelaide in the second half. Rory Kirkby in ruck with Lenny Clark. Clark with a hooking tap, got it to Bricknell, who ran himself into a bit more trouble than he wanted to. Handball to Weezard, the handball back to Bricknell now. His handball goes forward for McCormick. He runs around onto his right boot and sends it half forward. Beautiful kick, looking for Willits. He's in best position and takes an excellent mark over the top of Smith. He's at right half forward, can send the ball into the forward 50 for West Adelaide. The kick is high. Kane got a spoil to the ball. Holland's trying to get onto it, diving on top of it, a couple of West Adelaide players. Handball came to Kane. His handball was forward. There's a succession of handballs for Glenelg now. Smith got it to Rudolph. His kick was short for Fisher. Ominous signs here again for Glenelg. Murphy got the handball back to Kane, who'd run up nicely. His kick looking for McConnell. Oh, did well. Oh, tries to get around Piazzente and then decides it was a bad idea.
Beautiful mark by McConnell then. Hands in front of the ball.
Chipped his kick for Seller, got the mark.
Seller to kick from 45 metres, tight angle.
Tough kick this, won't it, John? Because he, as you're looking at the angle he's kicking, he's virtually kicking directly into the teeth of this breeze.
Umpire moving Seller around. The Crows' first round draft selection, full of interest in his form today at Glenelg.
First game back from injury.
Nice kick, but he's just hung it out to the right a bit, and that's a point.
Yeah, difficult that angle, ironically enough, because whichever way he kicked it, it was always going to swing away from the goal. It'll be Peter Walsh who brings the ball back in. It was a dangerous kick, but in the end he successfully found Donaldson. Donaldson still deep in the defensive area for West Adelaide, sends the kick short and up the line, back to Walsh, who'd pushed on up the ground, gets it help of a Shepherd, and he's got the ball now to Hutchins. Force the ball forward through Walsh, back to Donaldson. His kick is short for Hollands. Umpire said it was just 15. It was only just.
Yeah, and
short kick once again. This is Izard now. Oh, did well to get around his man and then sends it into the forward 50. Looking for attacking options. It was Button who got his hands to it. A couple of handballs now end up with Smith for Glenelg. His kick is excellent for Mules. They've got some space here, the Tigers. Kick for Murphy and Backwell. It's Murphy who takes the ball, gives the handball to Backwell, and why wouldn't you? He's the reigning Magarey medalist. Takes a couple of bounces, got a free kick advantage after his teammate was sideswiped. Kick for McConnell, got it.
Good chase by Daniel Kerr there on Brett Backwell, even though it didn't stop Backwell getting a good disposal. Kerr chased him all the way for 40 metres and made him earn every inch of that. West Adelaide not kicking long into attack. They're still short passing, not using the breeze. McConnell kicking for goal from 50.
Can't get the
Hasn't made the
surely.
Distance. He has,
he has. What a kick.
Beautiful goal. That's the best kick into the wind we've seen today. That's a 50-metre plus kick straight through. That's a lot of skill needed to do that.
And the margin's out to 50 points too, John. Who would have thought this early in the game?
Yeah, Coach Wiedemann, I'm not sure what he's got at his disposal here, what moves he can make. He's shifted Ben Hollands up into attack, but the ball's got to come down to him, and it's just not doing that at the moment. The midfielders for West Adelaide struggling to get the ball.
2 goals 2 to Justin McConnell. Could have so easily been 4. He had some pretty easy shots at goal in the first quarter. It was a brilliant tap from Button to Backwell. Handball to Graham. Handball to Moore. Ran himself into a bit of trouble. Handball back to Backwell. Oh, 1-2. Did brilliantly. Got the kick in front of Murphy. It was a great piece of work from Backwell. Houdini-like. Murphy did brilliantly to get it to the top of the square. Kirkby will set himself for this. Couldn't take the mark. A number of Crummers get to the ball. Donaldson's tackled, wrapped up, and the umpire says that will be a bounce. We're about 25 metres directly out in front of the Glenelg goal. Clark in ruck against Seller. Seller did well to use the body and get the tap out, then takes it out of the air. Tackled, good tackle. Picked up by Clark. Handball in front of Bricknell. Has to get around one. Did it pretty well too. He's going to come across the ground now. Kick was just ordinary, but Hutchins manages to keep it in play. Being corralled now by Douglas. Kicks it long. It was poor. First to it should be Hinge. That got over the top of his head. Kerr ran onto it and should be able to control it now. Did brilliantly, the young boy. Handball back for McCormick. His kick is long to centre wing. Getting over the top is Button. Took an excellent mark. So, well, just like the last quarter, it's West Adelaide who cannot seem to get the ball ahead of centre. Button now, long, poor checking from Glenelg because from West Adelaide because Ben Mills had got forward, couldn't take the mark, and it was McCormick who wrapped it up. Tapped out back now. This is Hinge. Gets around one, goes on his right boot, sends it into the forward 50. First to it should be West Adelaide. This is Clark who's back there cleaning up the big ruckman. Handball put Walsh under pressure. His handball was looking for Hutchins. It was a poor option, I would have thought. Picked up now by Mitchell, but the umpire said he's going to take it and he'll have a bounce, and we're around about 45 metres out from the Glenelg goal.
Good tackle by Alex Hutchins, the young West Adelaide defender, then to nullify that. James Izard onto the ball. Nice back turn. Gets out of trouble. Scrimmage develops. Ball's out of bounds. Glenelg, 50-metre mark. Outer side. Glenelg making a mockery of this kicking into this wind at the moment. They're dominating play. Free kick to West Adelaide. Big fella Clark who's tried hard. No, sorry. Wrong call, Ben.
It was the free kick was to Glenelg. I didn't know what it was for, John, and I don't think Lenny Clark did either. But in the end, it's Rory Kirkby who's got the ball out in front of James Seller, and he'll have a shot at goal on a pretty tight angle, 60-degree angle, only about 30 metres out right in front of the Ray White scoreboard here at Challenge Recruitment Oval.
West in real danger of this game becoming a debacle at the moment. They're just not using the breeze at all, not kicking long, not kicking to any focal point in attack.
6 minutes in with this breeze and haven't even had a shot yet. That's disappointing as we watch Seller come in now. Pushes the ball a little bit. It's a pretty good effort, I think. I reckon the goal umpire likes it. Jimmy Seller certainly likes it. His mate Ricky Douglas does too, because it is a goal. It's another one to Glenelg. They go to 8 goals 10-58, leading West Adelaide at just the 2 behinds, and this is an absolute rout as we've played 7 minutes here at Challenge Recruitment, second quarter.
As the game's going on, James Seller is getting better by the minute. He's more sure on his hands and his feet. That was a beautiful kick from the pocket into the wind. The Crows hierarchy would be pleased with his progress today so far, even this early in the second quarter.
So the southern end of this ground where West Adelaide could not post a major in around 27 minutes of football, it's Glenelg who've kicked 2 goals, 1-13 in 7 minutes. Ball back in the middle. Clark again with a good tap. Was looking for Izard but couldn't get it to that player. Picked up there, it was by Fisher who got a handball out forward. Oh, gee, taken too high, had to be. In fact, that was a little bit dangerous, and it's James Izard who'll take the free kick. Goes forward looking for Hollands. Oh, Rudolph stuck out a claw. It was like Mr. Gadget, wasn't it? Just sent out the retractable arm and hauled it in. Brilliant mark from young Sam Rudolph, first year at Glenelg after recruited from the eastern states. His kick looking for Douglas, and he did well running with the flight of the ball to take the mark. They're still at the defensive side of centre. The Tigers leading here by a mammoth 56 points, and we're still very early in the second quarter. Douglas takes his time, in the end goes short, and he has found Tommy Logan, his fellow AFL listed player, who gives the handball back to Douglas, and he decides to run and drives the ball to the true centre half forward position. It was Seller who was climbed over the top of by Peter Walsh. Seller's the one who picks it up. It's actually Rory Kirkby. Gets onto his left boot. Finds Mark Ruwalt. Does he? Yes, he does. Well, that was courageous too from Mark Ruwalt, running with the flight of the ball. He would have known that there was a few big fellas going to be hanging around him, but showed the courage, took the mark, and he's going to go back and kick another goal for Glenelg. It will be their 9th when he kicks it, and I suspect it will be his 2nd, John.
Open forward lines for Glenelg, they're the secret. Mark Rewalt on his own. Couldn't see his West opponent anywhere near him. Glenelg really moving the ball into attack quickly and not even having to create the one-on-one. They've got a loose man whenever they do it.
So it's actually Rewalt's first goal. He kicked one behind in the first quarter, but it's put the margin out to 62 points now. Glenelg 9-10-64. Sorry, 64, that's right. Yeah, 9-10-64, leading West Adelaide just the 2 behinds. And my goodness, what are we going to do in the second half, John? Because there's no point watching the rest of this, buddy.
7 minutes into the second quarter, kicking with a 5-goal breeze, and West Adelaide still haven't registered their first goal. Taken away by Glenelg at the centre bounce again. Was that Douglas?
Douglas.
The big fella for West Adelaide, Clark, who's really by their best player, gets it out. This is Cupido on the wing. They've moved him up the ground to try and get some momentum. He kicks the ball deep into attack, but it's Glenelg in numbers. Take the mark and clear. Back up to the centre wing. Tom Logan, good strong mark. Looking to play on. Short kick. Over to the centre. Glenelg now fiddling around in the middle. It's more like a training drill at the moment. West Adelaide not coming at the body hard enough. Over to Sherwood on the wing. Looking for options up forward. Given West time to go back now and check them in. Good kick into attack. And there's a strong mark.
Logan.
Logan, it is, yep.
Just judged it better than everyone else, didn't he? It was a floating sort of kick from Sherwood, but plenty of West Adelaide defenders there. Not one of them got a hand on it. It's young Tommy Logan, the left footer. The drafted to Port Adelaide last year, made his debut, I reckon. Well, certainly in the second half of the year, wasn't it? And back with Glenelg these days, and here's a chance to extend the Tigers' lead yet ever further.
Nice kick by Logan. Raking left foot kick right to the teeth of the goal. Punched away. West Adelaide clear. Jesse Smith, handballs out. Daniel Kerr, Peter Walsh. A string of players here. Glenelg tackling hard. That's McCormick now. Breaks away through the centre. Nearly trips over the umpire. The crowd cheers. West Adelaide into attack. 3-1 Glenelg against West. Where are the West players at the moment? Clear. Glenelg on the wing. Over the top to Adam Fisher. Streaming down into the forward line, looking for options. Centres the ball. West Adelaide in numbers. Jesse Smith. Handballs over to Piazente, the captain. Looks for options further afield. Nice deep kick. Looking for Willits, but Willits slightly out of position. Ball marked by Ben Kane. Handballs across. Glenelg streaming out of defence. Ben Moore looking for options, running down the flank. Mark to Fisher in the centre. That Fisher in the centre of the ground there.
That's right.
Fisher. Game slowed down a little bit now. To the outer wing. Mark, play on by Glenelg. Into attack. Is that Seller? Handball over. In the goal square. West Adelaide numbers clear. Peter Walsh. Handballs out. This is Caelan Buckley. Over to Alex Hutchins, and he's grabbed high. Might have been a bit lucky on that one. Over to Peter Walsh. Peter Walsh clears for West Adelaide out to the outer wing. Glenelg mop up here. Ball kicked into the forward line by Glenelg. No mark. Ball on the ground. Scrimmage develops. Umpires letting play go on a bit there.
So West Adelaide, they've played 13 minutes of this quarter kicking with the assistance of what is a pretty stiff breeze, and they have absolutely nothing to show for it. The ball's thrown back up. It's Clark in ruck who got the tap down in front of Donaldson. He's tackled as he goes to ground himself, and once again it'll be umpire Daniel Cowell who'll have to come in. and have a bounce deep in Glenelg's attacking territory. That is where we have been all game. We have done nothing but talk about Glenelg's attacking options. Thrown out of the way was Kirkby. Umpire said no free kick. First to it is Hollands, who did well to control it. Got met by a couple of tacklers. Picked up now by Bricknell. His handball was looking for Walsh. Picked up by Ruwalt. Tried to barge through a number of players. Couldn't make it through. Picked up now by Donaldson. His handball is good for Jesse Smith, and he can finally clear. Looking for Willits. The spoil came from Rudolph. First to it will be Hinge, the Crows listed boy, but the boundary line beats him and Ryan Willits. It'll be thrown back in. Still Glenelg attacking side of the wing with a lead of 62 points, and we've played around about 18 minutes of this second term. Ruck was Seller, got the tap, picked up by Jesse Smith, met by Fisher, and the umpire will come in and have a bounce. And we haven't gone too much further. This is Daniel Cowell, who suffered a... No, it's not Daniel Cowell, but he was the umpire who suffered an almighty tumble earlier and nearly brought the whole game to grief when he brought down a couple of players with him.
Galea on for West Adelaide, gets his first possession. Handballs out there to McCormick on the wing. Long kick into attack. This is what West Adelaide need. Cupido flies early, could have given away a free. And the ball is rushed through by Glenelg for a point.
Going to be a free kick here, I think. It was young Rowe who pushed Rudolph in the back just as the ball was going to be rushed through. So Glenelg, West Adelaide, is still yet to have scored in this quarter. The kick came to Graham, but the ball was knocked out of his hands, and it'll be thrown back in around about 30 metres out from the West Adelaide goal, trailing by 62 points. The scoreboard trying to tell us that a point has been registered, but that is not the case. So it's Ben Mills now who'll clear for Glenelg. Gets it out in front of Tom Logan. Got the pace to go with Greiger, but the ball had even more pace, and it'll be thrown back in. West Adelaide attacking side of centre. We're at left half forward, and it's Glenelg by 62 points. John.
West Adelaide's better players, normally Ben Hollands...
we don't have any better players.
in previous weeks, are just not there today. Their normal star players are just not there today. Ben Hollands, Willits, they're not getting their hand on the ball at all. And of course it's stemming from the midfield where they're just getting no drive whatsoever. They've been flogged in the midfield. Another scrimmage develops, the umpire will throw the ball up.
Last time these two sides met, it was here at Challenge Recruitment Oval. It was West Adelaide by 4 points. Well, you get the feeling that we're not going to see anything like that today. Allen got the ball out of ruck, got a handball to Backwell. His handball forward, looking for Fisher. He's going to get rid of it quickly. Did well, got it to Logan. Like attacking here again, the Tigers. McConnell couldn't take the mark. Ricky Douglas taken high by Buckley. I tell you what he's very good at, Douglas, is making sure that umpires see free kicks. If he was infringed a little bit, he makes sure he was infringed a lot, and he'll get a shot at goal from 50 metres out, directly in front. Probably tough to get the distance from here, the Crows listed boy.
We'll call that accidental then. Caelan Buckley, West Adelaide defender, went at the ball. High tackle on Douglas, free kick to Douglas. It was there, but we'll call it accidental.
It's a good long kick. And
beautiful
it's a goal.
Kick.
So another goal to Glenelg. We're at the 19-minute mark. It's Glenelg 10-10-70. They're leading West 0-2-2. Don't be fooled by the scoreboard. West Adelaide have not got 1/3 of their score because they gave away a free kick at the time. So 10-10-70 Glenelg. West Adelaide 3 behind. The margin is 67 points. We've played 19 minutes here at Challenge Recruitment Oval.
Jeremy Jakes now in ruck for West Adelaide, trying to get something going for them. Jesse Smith, the former Carlton player, is down there waiting to receive. He handballs out. That's Daniel Kerr over to McCormick. Back to Ben Hollands. Needs to get more of the ball, Ben Hollands, but they've lost it. Glenelg take it away. Inefficiency again by West Adelaide, but Glenelg streaming into attack.
Free kick.
Over the shoulder. Free kick against Alex Hutchins, is it?
It's definitely going to Justin McConnell.
How many goals has he kicked so far?
2 goals, 2.
Right.
Well, I reckon he might have just pushed that. No, the goal umpire's happy enough with it.
He's kicked a goal, yep. 11 goals, 10 to Glenelg. 3 points to West Adelaide. That's the sad and sorry saga at the Bay today. West Adelaide just really never been in this game at all. Glenelg, it's becoming a training exercise for them.
is at what, 11:10:76. West Adelaide 2 behinds. The bloke, the scoreboard attendant, he feels a bit sorry for the Floods. He's given them an extra point. He's going to be sadly disappointed when he realises that he's going to have to take that one back off them. We've played 20 minutes here.
Could affect the percentage.
Played 20 minutes here at Glenelg, and who would have thought they've kicked 5-1 into the breeze, the same scoring end that West Adelaide could manage just 2 behinds. Back into the ruck, it was Jakes who got the tap only as far as Mitchell, picked up by Backwell. Gee, he's been excellent today. You'd expect another 3 Magarey medal votes for him. Got the handball to Moore, forced it in front of McConnell, who's been excellent in front of goals today. Ruwalt's first onto it now. Handball back, was looking for Seller, but only got it as far as young Daniel Kerr. His kick only as far as Ben Mules, though. They've turned it over again, West Adelaide. He's got plenty of time to work around a couple of players. Gets the handball to Ben Moore. His handball wasn't great, but it sat nicely for Mitchell, who can go long to the top of the square. Getting back onto it, and it was David Piacente who was probably the best chance of taking the mark, but it had eluded him. It eluded every player. It went over the boundary line. It'll be thrown back in just around from the Glenelg goal. The Tigers leading by 74 points.
Inside 50s to Glenelg, many more than West Adelaide. Even with this 5-goal breeze, West Adelaide are not getting the ball into their 50. Throw-in comes in, scrimmage develops, umpire moves in, throws the ball up. Jakes for West Adelaide, the big fella, punches the ball clear, down to Hollands. Hollands breaks away from defence, kicks to the boundary line, but taken there by John Hinge. Ball centred. Glenelg again, pick up the crumbs. Oh, there's a strong attack on the ball there by Jeremy Jakes. Umpire lets it go.
That's a shocking decision.
In the AFL, that may have been a reportable offence.
That is a free kick.
Head high tackle. And it's a mark to West Adelaide, just outside the 50-metre zone. They kick forward. Braden Fisher is about to receive a free kick for in the back. And could we see West Adelaide's first goal at the 17-minute mark of the second quarter?
Well, that free kick was there. It was against Sam Rudolph, just got into the back of his opponent there, but my goodness, Ben Mills got his head taken off at half forward, and well, the umpire was Theron Philp. He was right in front of it and just did not take the whistle to the mouth. So I don't know whether he saw it differently. Well, clearly he did, because there's no free kick in West Adelaide now with a shot at goal.
Braden Fisher lining up from the pocket. Distance not a factor. Accuracy
is a factor.
Just to the right.
They can have that point now, John.
Ben and I will argue about the score here. The scoreboard says 4 points to West Adelaide. We think it may be 3. The ball about to be kicked in by Glenelg.
So Mules for Glenelg, brings it short for Kane. Been a pretty handy pickup playing on a back flank for the Tigers. He goes across the ground. This will be Mitchell, the big super boot. Drives it up to the wing. It's an excellent kick, looking for Hinge. Over the top there was Galea. West Adelaide win the ball now. This is Hutchins who tries to get the ball out only as far as a West Adelaide player. It was Murphy who got the ball to Mules. His kick looking for Seller. Couldn't take the mark. Could have got a free kick. Umpire says no. Picked up now by Douglas, and he charges into the attacking zone. This is Douglas now with the ball. Handball to Rudolph, who's walked up the ground. Oh, I didn't know what he was going to do with it. In the end, he's... well, it's going to be a goal here, I think. It is. It's a goal to Ty Allen. It was brilliantly done by McConnell to tap the ball back into play and get it to Ty Allen. And Allen has a goal. Glenelg have their 12th. They go to 12-10-82. It's West Adelaide just the 3 behind. And, well, my goodness.
Not a pretty goal, that one, but a lot of perseverance by Glenelg. Richard Douglas, a good, clean disposal there to a man in a better position. Just hard work, perseverance paying off for Glenelg into the wind there. Gee, they're making a mockery of this breeze.
Making a mockery of their opposition at the moment too, John. This is just horrific. Absolutely horrific for West Adelaide supporters who've come down Anzac Highway to have a look at this game today. Ball's back in the middle now to be buttoned in ruck with Jakes. Jakes got the tap, but once again it's Backwell who's first to it. He fell over and was collected there by Jeremy Jakes. And it's Damien Joyce, the umpire, who says, I'll have it back, boys, and we'll start this one off again. Glenelg by 79 points. We're into time on at the second quarter. Jakes with a big fist forward, tapped on by Graham. This is McCormick, who's picked up the ball, then drops it. Jesse Smith forces a kick forward. First to it should be Scott Bricknell for West Adelaide. Does well, gets around Sherwood, gets around one more, gives a handball now to Smith. He gets a chance to have a shot at goal from 50. He's pulled it a bit. He's pulled it a lot, in fact. The umpire will give him a behind. We'll give it to him too. That takes West Adelaide to 4 straight behinds, trailing Glenelg 12-10, 82 by 78 points.
Not much on offer for West Adelaide then, going into attack. Really kick and hope. No focal point. Glenelg covering all angles. Kick in, comes in from fullback. Lovely kick to the middle of the ground against the breeze. Shark there by McCormick, handball down. Glenelg move in, take over. Graham for Glenelg, kicks the ball, half forward. That's Kirkby. Kirkby moves the ball on. There's Caelan Buckley for West Adelaide coming in, taking a safe mark in defence. Held up by Brett Backwell. Backwell, of course, made his debut with West Adelaide, then shifted across to Glenelg.
Do you remind us of that, John?
Good mark to Willits. Good strong pack mark. That's what West Adelaide need. Moves the ball on quickly to James Izard, then Damien Cupido. Moves it into attack. Long kick forward. Which way will it bounce? Out of bounds.
Cupido, I forgot he was playing.
Better look from West Adelaide. We've seen nothing from them all day.
So we've played 24 minutes here at Challenge Recruitment Oval. West Adelaide yet to record a major in this game. They have just 4 behinds, and it is Glenelg 12-10, 82. The margin is 78 points. It is deep in West Adelaide's attacking territory. It is Clark with the tap. Only got as far as Button. He miskicked after being under pressure, and in the end he is tackled now, and it will be balled back up around about 40 metres out from the West Adelaide goal. Clark and Button in ruck again, the two young lads. Clark dives over the top of it. First to it will be Ben Moore for West Adelaide, picked up by Smith, I believe it is, but the umpire says he's going to have it back again and will ball it up pretty much in the same spot as last time, around about 45 metres out from the West Adelaide goal.
Glenelg got numbers back here, covering the loose West Adelaide players. Now they clear the ball. Nice movement from the bounce. This is Backwell again on the wing. Nice kick to half forward. No mark. Ball out of bounds.
Gee, they've killed him in the stoppages, haven't they?
They have indeed, Ben.
Glenelg have been so impressive around the set plays.
Yep. And clean with their skills. It's hard to imagine Glenelg were 8th on the ladder coming into today, only with 2 wins. Obviously, the form against North Adelaide last week was a true reflection.
Blood rule here. Ricky Douglas off, and on comes Tom Logan. So Douglas just looks like he's got a little bit of a cut above the eye. I'm sure nothing that will worry him too much. The play will restart now with a throw in with Glenelg just at the attacking side of centre, and with a staggering margin of 78 points in what we thought was going to be a tough day to score goals. The tap came down. First to it, hands on it, was Fisher. Fisher fights for it with, would you believe, Fisher off Glenelg.
There's 3 Fishers playing today.
And the Glenelg crowd lifts as one, cheering the home side, because it is half-time and they have a lead of 78 points. You're looking at the scoreboard now, I suspect, and you see Glenelg 12-10, 82, leading West Adelaide 5 behinds. We're actually at West Adelaide just the 4 behinds. It is a margin of 78 points, half-time, Challenge Recruitment Oval.
Second half at Glenelg Oval. West Adelaide 78 points down. Yet to kick a goal in the first half. It's Clark for West versus Button for Glenelg. Up they go. Clark gets a nice tap down. Daniel Kerr over the ball. Tackled by tackled by Glenelg. Umpire moves in. Ball up again. Clark again gets the hit out. Over to McCormick. James Izard. Free kick paid to Glenelg.
Throw against McCormick.
Free kick to Brett Backwell. Played a superb first half for Glenelg. The architect of many of their moves. Kicks long into attack. Caelan Buckley for West Adelaide spoils. Ball out of bounds. Glenelg's half forward line.
So I look around the ground here, John. I can see 36 red ears on West Adelaide players after the stinging rebuke they would have copped from the weed at half-time. Ball thrown back into play now. Rory Kirkby gets in front, probably gets the best of the tap. Diving over the top of it was Kerr and Backwell. Backwell may have been taken just a little bit high, but it's umpire Damien Joyce who says not enough in that for my liking. And he'll throw the ball back up at the left half forward for the Bays, kicking once again with this breeze and with a massive lead as well. Oh, Jakes did well to get his own tap. First to it, though, is Mitchell for Glenelg. His handball inside, looking for Hinge. He has to get rid of it quickly. Did so, but it was a bit too quick for Murphy. Diving on top of it now is Donaldson for West Adelaide, and it will be Damien Joyce once again who'll come in and ball the ball back.
Nice disposal by Hinge then, but just a bit too quick for his teammate.
First to it now is Kerr, gets a kick out in front of Galea. He can only get the edge of a boot onto it, and it's over the boundary line right in front of our calling position here at right half forward for West Adelaide, trailing by 78 points. Clark in ruck with Button, two young lads. Got plenty of improving to do. The boys, they're going to be fine young players of the future. McCormick was tackled, spoiled by Kane. Ball ends up with Hollins, who has to get rid of it quickly. Did well for Smith, who's got a little bit of space here. His kick is short and I'd have to say disappointing. Willits was first to it, but Mules read it the best. Got around one, did nicely. His kick is excellent, looking for and finding Logan. Logan's got a bit of room to move. McConnell's lead was too early. He'll go for the one out of Rory Kirkby. Kirkby in front, couldn't get it. McConnell going to be first to it. No, picked up now by, that looks to be right. It's Fisher, I reckon. Braden Fisher, and the umpire's going to come in and have a bounce.
Good spoil then by Ben Greiger in defence. One-on-one with his Glenelg opponent. Kept body on body and just punched the ball clear. Ball up, scrimmage develops. Handball out by West Adelaide. Taken by Seller. Rush through for a point. Correction, Kirkby, not Seller.
So another behind to West Adelaide. Dean Galea to bring the ball back in. Short. Efficient, finds McCormick, he was off. David Mitchell was just hovering behind him, and he made the right decision to go back and take a set kick. Goes short, finds Jesse Smith. They still haven't cleared the defensive 50, but the handball back to McCormick now will. His kick is good, finds Hutchins, who breaks away just at the defensive side of centre. In behind him was Smith, who got the handball running on. His kick was smothered. First to it to be Ben Moore, the former captain for the Tigers. Hutchins read it off him well. Got the handball to Walsh. He can run to 45, take a shot at goal. And it's missed. An absolute leg break. Looked for everything like it was going to be a goal, but it's just one behind. Mules will bring the ball back in. Goes for Hinge. His kick is excellent. Hinge can run away and get the ball to half forward. This is where Logan's got to. He's taken down by Caelan Buckley, and Damien Joyce says you can have 25 metres as well. It's not Tom Logan, it's actually Ty Allen. And Allen might even be in with a crummy chance of getting the yards from here. I'm not convinced they're 50-metre circles here. He's decided to play on now. There's a loose player over the back. That'll be Mark Ruwalt, but it's Justin McConnell who takes the mark. He's been excellent up forward for them in the last few weeks, and he'll take a shot at goal, only 20 metres out, virtually directly in front, a chance to kick his fourth.
Quick transition of play from Glenelg then from defence into attack. The crowd got a bit excited. They thought West Adelaide were going to kick the first goal of the game. McConnell kicks, drags it to the left, point only. Should have kicked that from there. Ball coming in from Grieger. Looks for Leeds. Kicks to the pocket. No mark. Glenelg pick up, kick forward, and that's James Seller takes a mark just outside the square. We'll be kicking from 15 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Well, that was a bit of a mess, wasn't it?
Poor disposal by West Adelaide.
So James Seller, pick number 16 in the draft last year. He has, I think he has one goal for Glenelg. Looks to be, no, it's going to be his first goal, I reckon. And he has managed to slot it through, so another goal to the Tigers. They go to 13-12-90, leading West Adelaide 5 behinds. That is a margin of 85 points.
5 minutes into the third quarter, West Adelaide still does not have a goal on the board. Off the ball, there's a free kick. Is it against Jesse Smith?
It's going to Ben Moore. It's against Peter Walsh, I think.
Peter Walsh it is, yep.
Moore with the kick, sends it to full forward. Kirkby sets himself, got it. Wheels around Kirkby, looking for Ruwalt. Kick was poor. West Adelaide defenders managed to get there in time. First to it was Kerr, couldn't pick it up at the first attempt. Got it now. Whacks a handball out in front of Jesse Smith. He gets a handball away as he's tackled. Could be a turnover here. Picked up by Kane. His handball backwards for Moore. Tried to keep it in play, but it's over the boundary line. Thrown back in. 50 metres out from the Glenelg goal. We're at right half forward. The Tigers leading by 85 points.
Throw in. Kirkby up for Glenelg, gets a nice tap down to Tom Logan. Tom Logan,
Free kick.
Grabbed high. Logan to take the kick just inside the 50-metre mark. Slight angle. Player of his ability would be looking to kick this goal.
Left foot will suit him too. Interesting, the breeze seems to have dropped a little bit here. John, just looking over at the windsock there on the scoreboard.
Yeah, definitely, Ben. Not the 5-goal advantage it was in the first quarter or second quarter, which West didn't use. Kick by Logan. Nice off the boot. Just dragged it a bit to the right. Left footers always look nice, but just dragged that one down a bit.
I'll accept that as a compliment, that I'm a nice-looking bloke as a left footer. John, thank you. So 13-13-91, the Tigers leading West Adelaide 5 behind. Dean Gallier to bring the ball back into play. He goes short and finds Smith. It's not Smith.
Alex Hutchins?
Could be. Ball moved up the line now. Good spoil came from Graham. Running onto it was Donaldson. Umpire said there's a free kick. It's hanging on, and it'll go to Peter Walsh against Adam Fisher. His handball was quick to Donaldson. Ran himself into a bit of trouble. Got the handball to Hutchins, who's got to get away quickly. Did he get the handball? Umpire said no. Oh, it was Dean Gallier, and I think he thought that he'd done enough to get rid of it.
Looked like a clean disposal there.
It was Hutchins, but it'll be Justin McConnell who will take a shot for goal once again from, well, pretty much 45 metres out. It'll kick from just inside the 50-metre circle here at Challenge, and the opportunity to kick Glenelg's 14th.
Rewald off the ground and Jeff Smith on.
Lovely kick from Justin McConnell. Kicks the Tigers 14th.
And the question remains, are we going to see a goal by West Adelaide today? We're well into the third quarter, and we've yet to see a goal kicked by the visitors here today. Hard to see what Wayne Wiedemann can do now. They're just not in the game at all, West. They're not getting the clearances. Their skills are lacking. They're not tackling hard. Glenelg controlling this game.
It's listless, isn't it? So back in ruck now, neither ruckman gets a tap. First to it was Hollins. He overran the ball. West Adelaide player could have been taken high, but the umpire says the tackle was fair enough. And he will come in and have a bounce pretty much directly back on the middle of the ground, the centre circle here at Challenge Recruitment over the two ruckmen. Again, it was Button who probably got the best of the tap. First to it there was Piacente. His handball was for Hutchins. Hutchins gets it to Gallier.
Gallier marks.
Gallier has a chance to kick a goal here from around about 25 metres out, almost directly in front. Absolutely hurt Glenelg last time these two sides met here at Challenge Recruitment Oval. Kicked 4 very important goals, and a chance to kick his first and Glenelg's first. And I dare suggest if this one goes through, we're going to hear a nice old Bronx cheer, John.
Given his start on the bench, kick by Gallier. He's goaled it. West's first goal. Given Gallier's strong body and attack on the ball, it's hard to see why he would have started on the bench today. Wiedemann probably could have got him into the game a bit earlier. Having said that, I don't think it would have made much difference, Ben.
Light rain starting to fall here at Glenelg. That's all West Adelaide needs if they think they're any chance of reducing this margin. Just a little bit of precipitation as the faithful supporters here start to head for cover. We're pretty comfortable here at the back of the stand as Glenelg clear this centre bounce again. It was Fisher who got it out in front of Graham. Diving on it and did well was Piacente. Could have got a free kick. Umpire said no. Kane has it now. Got a handball to Logan. He was tackled immediately. First to it was Mules who forced it forward to Murphy. Piacente took him high. Then Peter Walsh lays an excellent tackle, and it will be thrown back up right on centre wing. West Adelaide with their first goal have reduced this margin back to 86 points.
The first goal's had an effect, Ben. The tackling already from West Adelaide's a bit harder. Then 3 or 4 players went in and tackled hard and presented well.
Wonder what happened for the first 2 and a bit quarters. So another
Pack
bounce
developed.
down now. Ben Hollands at the bottom of the pack. Adam Fisher will assist him back to his feet, and Daniel Cow will throw the ball back in the air. Button in ruck with Clark. Clark got the tap down as far as Greiger. Picked up now by Seller, fighting for the ball at ground level. Perhaps not his ideal spot to be. Picked up now by Cupido. Have not seen anything of Damien Cupido today, and he is tackled and will be thrown up once again.
Bit like a rugby scrum at the moment. A lot of players are around the ball, no clearances, holding the ball up. Big punch away by Glenelg. Over to Alex Hutchins, West Adelaide. Good handball out, seeking a loose man. James Izard kicks forward. Oh, good defence. Graham for Glenelg clears up. Handballs over to Hinge. Mitchell. Sherwood. Handballs everywhere. Glenelg haven't kicked the ball for 60 metres yet. Kick into the forward line now.
Oh, McConnell was brilliant.
McConnell traps the ball beautifully, turns around and laconically kicks a goal.
There's often a saying, John, isn't there? You've got to be first to the ball, but Justin McConnell belied the rule there, just knew it was going to get away from his defender, read it brilliantly, trapped it perfectly, turned around, went into an open goal and kicked another one. Brilliant from McConnell. Glenelg absolutely dominant in this game, and they've restored their 92-point advantage.
15-13 to 1-5 at the Bay. Glenelg controlled this game from the first minute. West Adelaide, very poor effort today. Ball's thrown up in the middle. Down to West Adelaide. Kick into attack, but it's a safe mark in defence. Over to Hinge. Been a good player from half-back. Clears the ball down with precision to half-forward. Should have taken a mark there, the Glenelg forward, Kirkby. Ball comes out. Jesse Smith, the ex-Carlton player, handballs over. Back to Jesse Smith again. Nothing to kick to. Goes centre. Benny Greiger. Handball across. Clearance by West Adelaide through the centre. Cupido overruns the ball. Doesn't present that well. Ball cleared by Glenelg. But Jesse Smith for West will be first on it. Oh, hard tackle there. Head-high tackle. Free kick to West Adelaide. Didn't pick up the player there, Ben.
Donaldson will get the free, I believe. He certainly was the man remonstrating. It looks like Daniel Kerr, who gives a handball now to Peter Walsh. The umpire is suggesting he wants to start play again. I don't know if there's a report here. I suspect there might be. I reckon you'll find that Byron Murphy has gone into the book for unduly rough play or charging or one of those things. He certainly collected him high, John.
Will we call that a Byron Pickett tackle, Ben?
Well, there's been plenty of cases of it in AFL and SANFL football. Joyce is definitely holding up plays, definitely reported Murphy. So he will have an appointment with Byron Murphy on Tuesday night at the tribunal. And thanks to Pine Lodge, the footage will be revealed on the night, thanks to the good work of our cameraman Jeff here this afternoon.
West Adelaide with the free kick on the wing. Not many options, just a short 15 metre, just travelled the 15 metres. Still with the ball. Looking for options up forward. Galea from behind. Spread eagle the pack, but the ball came down. Glenelg defence cleans up, mops up. That's Kirkby kicking long from defence, but the ball's out of bounds.
So it'll be thrown back in. We're in West Adelaide's attacking area. They're 50 metres out from goal. We're on the outer side of the ground. It is West Adelaide trailing by, would you believe here, 91 points. It is just a staggering margin, 92 points in fact. And ball thrown back into play now. Seller in ruck, he's in ruck with Greiger. Greiger doing well, got a good leap on him, the young lad, but a pack of players over the top of the ball. And I thought there was going to be a bounce down, but in the end, I think it was a maul from West Adelaide that forced it out in the defensive side. But after all of that, too many players around the ball, and umpire Damien Joyce will come in and sort it out with a throw up just inside West Adelaide's 50-metre zone, kicking to the right of screen. Taken out of the air by Greiger, got a quick handball in front of Kerr. His ball goes to Cupido. He tried to get a handball out, but the umpire says there's a free kick here against Cupido for a fend, and it'll be Adam Fisher to take the free kick for the Tigers, and they will reload from defence. The handball to Backwell. He gets around Willits a little bit too easily, decides to change play and goes short, looking for Murphy. The kick was on the bounce. Cupido did well, got his body in the way, takes a shot at goal now and kicked it. He's kicked West Adelaide second, And my word, did they need that. It was a strange option there from Backwell. He went one way, went the other way. The kick just wasn't good enough for Murphy for what he was trying. And it was Damien Cupido who did well, got the body in the way at the right position, took Murphy out of the play, snapped the ball up, ran around, got into his preferred left boot and kicked a much-needed goal for West Adelaide. They go to 2-5-17, trailing Glenelg 15-13, 103 by 86 points.
Glenelg not direct then, fiddling around in defence, short passing, whereas in the first half, long kicks came down the corridor. That time, Backwell just chose the wrong option. Cupido swooped, kicked a good goal, but Westies only need about 13 more.
You say it so simply, John. So Cupido with his first. It'll be Seller in ruck against Greiger. Umpire Theron Philp to throw the ball up in the air. It was Seller who got the tap, nobody in particular. In fact, he'll butter up himself, did well, the boy. We reckon that's Ricky Douglas wearing Travis Boak's Guernsey, who was tackled, picked up by Peter Walsh. He gets his handball out in front of Rowe. His kick was smothered. Chance for a turnover here. First to it is Donaldson. Did well to get his body over the top of the ball. They're just showing a little bit more fight here, thankfully, West Adelaide. Another turnover here. It was Rowe who picked up the ball and was tackled in the same motion. Murphy has the ball now, and it's umpire Theron Philp who says he's going to come in and sort it out. Right on the outer side centre wing here at Challenge Recruitment Oval with West Adelaide leading by 86 points.
West's better tackling is causing more stop-start in the game. More and more ball-ups from the umpire. The umpires have umpired well today. Mind you, Ben, it's been an easy game to umpire.
Yeah, we can't really remember any bad decisions from the umpires. There's been too many from the Bloods, hasn't there?
That's right.
Ball back in play now. It looked like it was Hutchins who forced a kick forward to the top of the 50. Coming over the top was Mules, well trapped by Rudolph at ground level. He got a handball to Hinge, a handball to Sherwood. They can clear here the Tigers. His kick on his non-preferred left boot was out in front of Moore. I tell you what, it was miles out in front of him because it's gone over the boundary line and out of play before he can get there. Right dead on centre wing in front of the faithful supporters here at Glenelg Oval. Double change here. Allen off and Ruwot on for Glenelg, Bricknell on and Donaldson off for West Adelaide. Seller could have got into the back, but in the end gets the tap. Rowe pushed it forward, did well. This is Graham, got a handball to Ruwot, a handball to Mules. Mules' handball was cut off by Galea, but Mules will get back and does well. Got it to Douglas. Douglas's kick is to ahead of centre, looking for Fisher. Couldn't take the mark, was a good spoil by Hollands. Mitchell forced the kick forward. Hollands will be first to it for West Adelaide. Going to be met by Kirkby, could have been taken high and was. We'll get a free kick. And West at Glenelg were away too through Adam Fisher. But it'll be Ben Hollands to take the free kick at right half back.
Hollands to take the kick. Had a quiet game. He's got a lot of mates in his team though. Normally one of West Adelaide's better players. Looking for options further afield. They're pretty well covered. Peter Walsh is loose. Has chosen to ignore that. Kicks long, down the wing. Galea up. Ends up with the ball. Handballs forward. Ball's out of bounds. I've liked John Hinge's game today, Ben. He's really rebounded well off that half-back line.
He's managed to find himself loose on a number of occasions, hasn't he? And has set up a number of Glenelg's attacks. Ball thrown back in. Was Seller with the tap, got it to Rudolph. He's done okay too and did well to get through traffic, although the smother from Kerr was brilliant. McCormick hacks it out of thin air. First to it will be Cupido. He's met by Sherwood Forrest. And it's Ben Mules who lays the tackle on Cupido, and the umpire will come in and have a bounce.
Cupido had two to beat then. Where are the other West Adelaide forwards giving him support? Can't do it all himself.
Ball thrown back up. Seller in ruck with Greiger. Greiger did pretty well there, but it's Sherwood who wins the ball at ground level. Diving on top of it was Kerr. Now with it is Murphy. He's already gone into the book today, we believe, or we're pretty sure. Sherwood fighting for the ball at ground level, and in the end the umpire is going to come in and have another bounce.
Scrappy third quarter at Glenelg Oval. Not that the scores are close, but just West Adelaide have just tackled a little bit harder this quarter.
Seller with the tap, got it to Sherwood. He's tackled once again by Kerr. And umpire Damien Joyce will have no choice but to sort this out with a toss-up one more time.
Grieger and Seller go up. No clear knock. Down to West Adelaide there. That's Alex Hutchins. He kicks the ball forward. Touched, play on, no mark to Glenelg. Ball's out of bounds. West Adelaide's forward pocket, kicking into the breeze, which may have picked up a little bit now. Ben, it had dropped there for a while.
Yeah, they look at the windsock again, and it might just be starting to fill as the ball comes back into play. It's Cupido in ruck against Sella. Cupido got the tap, got it down to Rowe. He was tackled as he tried to force his way through. Cupido with a solid tackle. The ball ends up with Bricknell to Willits. Snap over his shoulder, and I reckon the goal umpire likes it. It's a goal to Willits. It's West Adelaide's third. And they're pegging back this margin ever so slowly into this breeze. They've actually been okay into the wind, you'd have to say, West Adelaide. They kicked their third. They're 3-5-23, trailing Glenelg 15-13, 103, and that is just by a lazy 80 points. But at least we're seeing a little bit of fight from the Bloods.
We're seeing improvement for West Adelaide because we couldn't see any worse than their first half. Certainly they're fighting for the ball a bit. They're tackling a bit harder. They're showing a bit of determination. Clark gets the ball back down, but snared by Glenelg. Graham kicks the ball sideways off his non-preferred foot. Willits taps the ball out nicely, but back to Graham. I've liked his game today too. Moves the ball on. We think 29 is normally Travis Boak, but that's not Travis Boak, and he's kicked a point.
It's Richard Douglas, I'm pretty sure. He tripped over the invisible man there. Just before. Anyway, ends up as one behind to Douglas. The ball comes back into Hollands. He goes short to Donaldson. Donaldson's going to go short and across the ground, finds McCormick. Similar hairlines have those two boys, haven't they? Donaldson and McCormick. McCormick with the footy now, goes short, needs to be accurate, finds Hutchins. They still haven't got past half-back. The umpire has called for a blood rule here, and I think James Sella is going to come off. So a pair of Glenelg playing Crows boys spilling a little bit of claret out here on the field. Ty Allen going to come on to replace James Sella. That's an interesting change in matchups there, the big ruckman for the Little Rover. In the meantime, it will be West Adelaide who will have possession of the ball from centre half back. Kick goes short, and it's an excellent click. Finds Clark, who wheels around onto that left boot of his. Wobbles one out in front of Willits. Oh, he overran the ball. Smith will be first to it. Gets a shepherd from Kirkby. Then tries to do a little bit too much. Just got a handball to Allen. He just got a handball to Sherwood, who gets a handball to Hinge, and this boy, hasn't he been good? Away he goes. Gets it to the wing. Goes short with his pass. He's got Mitchell. He's got a bit of space to work with. Wants to kick it. Now goes on his left boot. Out here is Mark Ruwo, all on his own. Can he get it before the boundary line gets him? Does well to keep it in, the boy. Wheels around back onto his right foot. Chicks. Oh, where are the West Adelaide defenders? Because it was Matthew Graham who just stood underneath that ball with absolutely no one near him, only 20 metres out from goal. And he will take a set shot to restore, well, not restore the margin because it's already 81 points, but he'll just send it back to 87, I suspect. West
Adelaide defenders again caught out of position there, misreading the play. Perhaps thought that ball might have gone out of bounds and leaving Graham loose. I love the run down the field from Hinge again. He broke through a pack, real leg speed, opened the play up with a creative handball. Graham's kick for goal. He's put it straight through. Glenelg moved to 16-14, 104. West Adelaide 3-5-23. Time on in the third quarter. At Glenelg Oval, the rain stopped, but the wind is just picking up again. Been a chilly day.
So Matthew Graham gets a goal. That's the 16th goal to Glenelg. 16-14, 110, leading West comfortably 3-5-23. The margin is 87 points. Bad number for a cricketer, perhaps, but pretty good number for the Glenelg Tigers this afternoon. Ball back in the centre now. It's Button going to be in ruck with Clark. Clark did well, got the tap down, looking for Donaldson. Oh, brilliantly read by Button, who got a handball to his former skipper in Moore. Moore's kick is out in front of Grain, who's doing very well out in his wing. A late inclusion into this side. His kick finds Hinge, who's been brilliant on a half-back flank today. Handball to Murphy. Has to get through a bit of traffic and did it brilliantly. The boy, handball to Moore. His handball is out in front of Ruwalt. Can he run onto it? Did well, the boy. It's actually Benny Kane. Get a kick on his right boot, looking for Ricky Douglas out there, who's wearing Travis Boak's Guernsey, which was an interesting decision. But it beat him over the boundary line, be thrown back in right in front of the cricket pitches, the practice pitches here at Challenge Recruitment Oval.
Throw in Glenelg's forward pocket. Alex Hutchins going up. Opposed to Kirkby. Ball down to Glenelg, forward pocket. It's at Douglas on the left foot. Centres the ball. Ben Moore takes a strong mark, but there's a free. Umpire's blown the whistle. Free kick for holding on. Taken by Grieger, is it at West Adelaide? No, it's Jeremy Jakes. He's kicked to the forward, to the back pocket there. That's Luke Donaldson. He's down to Jesse Smith on the halfback, at the 50-metre mark for West Adelaide. Looks to play on. Short kick across. West Adelaide clearing down the outer side. Mark should have been taken by McCormick. Handball's out though. Loose kick into attack, but cleared easily by Glenelg. Back to the centre of the ground. No mark. Murphy picks up. Is tackled, but gets the ball away to Logan. Logan didn't get a clear disposal then. The ball just fell out, but Glenelg still retained possession. Now they're running in numbers. That's Kane. Down to Richard Douglas, wearing number 29. Will be kicking from just inside 50 metres, straight in front of goal with the wind behind him. Ben, for an AFL player, he should put this through.
He will, and you've got to wonder, what happened to all the West Adelaide defenders? I reckon they started this game with 6 of them, but a few of them seem to be missing at the moment because Glenelg taking too many uncontested marks in their forward 50, which tends to suggest that the defence has gone missing here for West Adelaide. Douglas now from just outside the 50, pushed it a little, one behind, missing to the right. So one behind to Douglas, the margin out to 88 points. We've played around about 25 minutes now. The ball's come back into play. Number of players diving onto it. This is Piacente who picks it up and forces a kick to the centre of the ground. It was Button who got under it, couldn't take the mark. Well read by Kerr. Handball to Walsh. He's going to go short and find Cupido. Yeah, did well in front of Rudolph. Wheels around onto his left boot. Kick for Willits was a little bit untidy. Willits dives over the top of the ball, gets a free kick against Smith for a push in the back. And Ryan Willits will take a free kick. Oh, he wants to be careful here. He can turn that over if he wants to whack his opponent in the back of the head. But thankfully for him, he'll retain possession of the ball and take a kick from just outside 50. I reckon he'd be a little bit too far out to score into this breeze.
Yeah, Willits playing against his old club. Hasn't had much opportunity today and hasn't done a lot. But this kick will test him. Sinks the boot into it. That's a nice kick, but it'll just land short. But a big mark to West Adelaide in the square. It's been paid. Galea.
Good grab.
Westies haven't had a focal point in attack, mainly because the ball just hasn't come into attack today. But Galea looks a likely type, and perhaps Wayne Wiedemann could persevere with someone like Galea in a key attacking post.
So Dean Galea will come in now, kick his second goal. It's West Adelaide's 4th. They go to 4-5-29. Glenelg 16-15, 111. The margin is 82 points.
Glenelg Primary School might get a free football out of that one too. Galea's kicked it right out of the ground into the primary school. Well into time on.
Yeah, 26 minutes played now here in the third quarter at Challenge Recruitment Oval. Glenelg by a mammoth 82 points. And they'll kick against the breeze in the last quarter. And you've got to say that West Adelaide have shown a little bit of fight here in this third quarter. But this game was run and won very much in the first half. It was Clark who got the tap as the siren sounds. So three-quarter time at Challenge Recruitment Oval. It is Glenelg 16-15, 111, 82-point leaders over West Adelaide 4-5-29. So we're all ready to go for the final quarter at Challenge Recruitment Oval. Ben Hook and John Callahan calling the game for you for Pine Lodge. And here we go again. It was McCormick who got a kick not too far. The echo in the background from the disastrous Challenge Recruitment Oval sound system. And it is umpire Daniel Cowell, or is it Theron Philp, who's going to come in and sort out play. As Brett Backwell and Damien Cupido just reacquaint themselves with each other. One by West Adelaide out of the middle. It's Kerr who got a handball to Bricknell. His kick forward, looking for Galea over the top of his head. And Jeff Smith ensures that it goes over the boundary line.
Free kick.
Oh, it's a free kick. It's a free kick to
Dean
Galea. John, you can talk about his shot for goal.
Kicked a goal in the third quarter. Kicking here from 40 metres, tight angle, but with a bit of a breeze behind him. We'll give him a 30% chance of kicking this, Ben.
I'll give him a bit more than that. See, the umpire hasn't moved either. I'll take your money, John, because that's another goal to Galea. That's his third. West Adelaide's 5th. They're 5-5-35, trailing Glenelg 16-15 at 111. The margin back to 76 points. And Galea, well, he's shown a little bit up forward. Only been up there since just after half-time, and he already has 3 goals to his name.
Lucky I'm not a bookie. Nice kick from Galea. straight through the middle from a tight angle.
So you're not paying, is that what you're telling me?
That's right, yeah. Ball back to the centre. Len Clark, West Adelaide Ruckman, probably their best player today, the one that's tried for 4 quarters. Takes the ball from the centre, kicks it forward, mark in defence by Glenelg. Kicks out wide, cross half-back. Glenelg movement, been good across half-back today. And Graham gets the ball across to the ruckman there. Button. Handball out. Back well tackled hard by West Adelaide, but the ball comes out to Hinge. Looks up, kicks long into the forward line. Braden Fisher trying to spoil McConnell. Fisher did well. Clears, but it's back to Hinge. Takes a good mark, but is tackled by West Adelaide. Takes his time to get rid of the ball. Jeremy Jakes. Good tussle for the ball there. Umpire blows the whistle, will come in and ball up.
So at left half forward for Glenelg, they're kicking into the breeze in the last quarter. They lead by 76 points after blowing West Adelaide out of the water in the first half. Ball thrown back up. Tom Logan with the tap, if you don't mind, one of the smallest players on the ground, the Port Adelaide Power listed player. But all he could do was tap it over the boundary line and be thrown back in. Left half forward for Glenelg. They lead by 76 points. We're about 3 minutes into the first quarter, final quarter. Kirkby with the tap, but it's a pack of players who take it to ground, and the umpire will now have to come in and have a bounce.
West Adelaide supporters will be happy it's the last quarter, not the first quarter. It's also getting dark here. If the West supporters again won't want the lights turned on, I don't think.
So the ball ends up with McConnell. It gets a handball to Allen, a handball to, is that Sherwood Forrest? He's kicked a goal. You don't often see, that's Tom Logan. Tom Logan on the left foot. I didn't think it was Paul Sherwood.
Good goal under pressure from Logan there. He was fiercely tackled by the West defender as he was going down, jammed it on his left foot, split the middle. Nice goal from there.
So restores the margin to 82 points. That's what it was at three-quarter time. Tom Logan kicking a goal on his left foot was very well done by him. He was under all sorts of pressure. And Glenelg by 82 points. Lots of problems for the Bloods.
Izard off and Donaldson on. Izard's had no effect on the game. Ball up in the centre. No clear knock there. Ball comes down to Jakes. Oh, Glenelg player tackled very hard there in Button. He's not well. Ball's cleared. Umpire's waving play on. Comes out to Graham.
Got to fight on here now too.
What we'd call a melee, a lot of pushing and shoving. Not a lot in it, but plenty of pushing and shoving. Umpires brought the ball forward for Glenelg.
Mark Ruwalt wants to be careful here because...
Now it's
Dean Galea has thrown some of the biggest haymakers I have seen. I'm not sure what you're picking up on camera, but there has been some serious punches thrown. This all started because Ryan Willits collected Luke Button in ruck. Glenelg were paid a free kick. They are now being paid about a 130-metre penalty. There is still wrestling going on in the middle of the ground. All the while, Brett Backwell has kicked another goal for Glenelg. There has been some serious punches thrown here, ladies and gentlemen. I can assure you, and I bet you that the Pine Lodge cameras will be able to determine exactly what it was that's gone on. But there have been some over-the-top tempers thrown about here, and in a game which is as one-sided as this is, I can see Mark Ruwalt now as a cheeky little fella. He's squirting his water at Cale and Buckley not too thrilled about that, and those two are still carrying on with things. There's pushing and shoving going on at centre half back between Cupido, Willits and a couple of Glenelg defenders, but the play restarts again. Lenny Clark could have taken a player too high, did so. It was Ben Moore who takes the ball. He got an advantage free kick. Rory Kirkby first to it, met by Hutchins, good tackle, gets the handball to McConnell. He's tackled very well by Braden Fisher, and the umpire will come in and have a bounce. Temper's still pretty frayed here. Ben Moore having a fight now with Cale and Buckley.
McConnell lucky not to be pinged for holding the ball there. Had prior opportunity, didn't get rid of the ball.
Picked up now by Moore, in tight space, met by Donaldson, but got the handball forward, so did Ruwalt, first to it. Oh, well done, Braden Fisher. Put his body on the line with Ty Allen coming the other way, and he'll get a free kick for West Adelaide. They just need to settle here. They're a little bit upset and emotional, the Bloods, and they probably, oh, well, there you go. They've turned it over. He was looking for Ben Hollands, but it was Ben Kane who took the mark for Glenelg, and he has a chance to rub what is well, a little bit of more salt into what are some pretty nasty wounds that the West Adelaide Bloods are currently licking at the moment.
West Adelaide not winning the match and not winning the fights either at the moment. They can't take a trick today. Ben Kane shooting for goal. 35, 40 metres out, straight in front. Into the breeze. Nice kick off the boot, straight through the middle for Ben Kane. Glenelg moved to 19-15, 129 to West Adelaide 5-5-35.
So the margin's back out to 88 points. An absolute drubbing in anyone's language. West Adelaide, they can blue all they like. It's not going to make much difference, except for how they structure their training on Tuesday night, because they're going to have a few too many blokes at West Lakes if things carry on the way it is. Although it's only Byron Murphy, the only report that we've seen today, the Glenelg player, reported for charging Donaldson, we believe.
We think there'll be more than that, though, following the last altercation. Dean Galea in the spotlight on that one. Ball up again. Knock out to Glenelg. Graham, who's played such an effective game today on the wing, gets the ball out. Pack develops. Umpire moves in. Paul Sherwood's played a very good game for Glenelg today, right in the thick of things. Big Ryan Willits comes in over the top, fists the ball forward, but straight to Glenelg in defence. Long kick into attack, and that's McCormick, not the worst player for West Adelaide today. Clears the ball down the corridor. Glenelg again clean up. This is all too evident today. The corridor's been owned by Glenelg. They sweep the ball forward with beautiful handball.
Ruwalt.
Mark Ruwalt kicks long into attack. This is McConnell, spoiled well by Braden Fisher. Fisher picks up the ball, gets it out. Handball out of defence by West Adelaide. He's pinged for holding the ball.
Jake's run into all sorts of trouble there. In the end, it'll be Ben Moore with the free kick.
West Adelaide looked good in there at one stage in defence, but just Jeremy Jakes took on two Glenelg players and was never going to break those tackles. Ben Moore kicking for goal from near the 50. Slight angle, kicking into the breeze. That breeze, hard to tell from here, but it's dropped a little, but still kicking into it.
Hit his best kick to get the yards, I would have thought, John.
Kick by Moore, lovely off the boot. Not quite, just over the top of the post for a point. Peter Walsh to kick in for West Adelaide quickly. Wanted to kick in quickly, but there were no leads forthcoming, so he's had to sit on it for a while and wait for opportunity to find a West player. They're all covered. Goes long into the half-back line, outer side. That's Alex Hutchins, gets a handball out, but intercepted by Glenelg. Back to Ben Greiger, back to Piazente, kicks the ball forward, down the wing. Oh, big grab by Smith of Glenelg.
So Jeff Smith from half-back, ball to Ruwalt. Just a well-weighted kick, takes the mark. Just an attacking side of centre for Glenelg. Takes his time now, not a lot of options. Goes backwards to his skipper, Ben Mules. Met by Cupido, but has the mark safely. Plays on, goes short, finds Mitchell in the centre of the ground. Mitchell looking for a runner in Ruwalt. Couldn't get the handball to that player. It was Rowe who cut off that option. So David Mitchell now goes long and heads towards the outer side, looking for a long Rory Kirkby lead. Ball bounces in front of him twice before he can get a hand to it. Handball to Graham, who's been good today. Late inclusion into the side. Handball to Logan, looking for Hinge. Got a hand to it, couldn't take the mark. Donaldson forced the ball forward to Buckley. His kick is excellent for Cupido, and he can clear for West Adelaide from half-back. His kick looking for Hollands, who's got ahead of the play, did well. Dean Galea pushing forward. Hollands' kick was an absolute stinker. He knew that there was no one in the goal square and tried to roll it through, but he just leaned back on the kick a little bit, and in the end it rolls over the boundary line out of play, just alongside the right-hand goalpost for West Adelaide, who trail by 89 points.
No player in the forward 50-metre arc for West Adelaide then when Hollands just had a long shot for goal, miskicked it out of bounds. Ball in, West Adelaide's forward pocket. Big Willits up, ball knocked down, Glenelg clear, and again mop up in defence. This fella, Mitchell's played a very good game, clears the ball to the wing, kicks to touch, Ben Moore chasing, ball out of bounds. Glenelg in full control of the game.
So the ball to be thrown back in, right half back for the Tigers with a commanding lead here. Challenge Recruitment Oval. They'll be delighted with this win, 2 in a row now after a very sluggish start to the year. It was Sherwood who got the ball to Douglas. His handball is for Allen. Oh, Allen dummied around a couple and did brilliantly. Handball to Moore. Moore's kick is short for Logan, who did very well to take the mark under pressure from McCormick. Logan, quick handball to Kane. Kane works the ball across the ground. It's a good kick for Smith, who pushed up from centre half back. Has the ball at just the left-hand side of the true centre half forward position. Kick was looking for Kirkby, who's done well now that he's gone back into attack after spending a lot of time this year in defence. McConnell getting under it in a one-on-one. Braden Fisher did well to get the spoil of the way. Walsh read it best. Gets a kick out wide, looking for and finding Rowe. He's got a little bit of space to move. Gives a handball now to Kerr. Kerr goes along the wing, looking for Galea. Couldn't take the mark. Oh, gee, kept the ball in play, but fell over himself, and in the end, Rudolph took it away easily. Kicks to his skipper in Ben Moore, gets to around about 55 metres, gets a Shepherd. He didn't know what he wanted to do with it. In the end, handballs to Mitchell. Mitchell's handball wasn't great, looking for Graham, and it'll be West Adelaide that can clear. Kerr gets the ball to Smith. His kick is short and finds Rowe. He has a little bit of space to move at right half back. Decides to hold up play, looking to draw a play. He's going to get run down from behind if he's not careful. His handball for Piacente was poor. Ruwalt intercepted. Got it to Backwell. Picked up now by Rowe for West Adelaide. Another turnover. His handball for McCormack was excellent. Kick short for Cupido. Good mark. Cupido will take a set shot for goal just inside 50 metres. And just for his own confidence, Damien Cupido, second week back from a hamstring injury, you'd like to see him kick this and just restore a little bit of faith in his own game.
Glenelg gone off the boil a little bit of sloppiness there, but Cupido lining up from about 45 out, straight in front, kicking from 50. Nice kick off the boot, straight through. Goal umpire does not move. West Adelaide's 6th goal. They're now 6 goals 5. Glenelg 19 goals 16. A lovely movement earlier on, Ben, down here on the wing by young Ty Allen. Evaded about 3 tackles. It was symptomatic of Glenelg today. They've just used the ball well, avoided the tackles. Their skills today have been far superior than West Adelaide. Back in the centre.
So the margin back to 89 points. It's Button and Ruck who did well. Good tap, only as far as McCormick though for West Adelaide. Wheels around onto his right boot, gets it out in front of Rowe. He's met by Mules, who got a spoil away and then read it best. Good tackle though by Rowe to hold him up. Picked up now by Smith of Glenelg. He's tackled by Peter Walsh and taken over the boundary line. Out of play, right half forward for West Adelaide, trailing by 89 points.
Ball about to be thrown in. Grieger going up for West Adelaide. The hard-working Button for Glenelg's rucked all day and rucked very well. Taps it down beautifully. Not cleared. Again, umpire blows the whistle. Ball up. Clark for West Adelaide and Button for Glenelg have tried hard all day. Ball's down. Again, scrimmage develops. West Adelaide trying to break clear. Can't pick up that player at the moment. Ball up again. Play becoming scrappy. Players are tired. At least the Glenelg players should be tired. I don't know about the West Adelaide players today, Ben.
It's hard when you're chasing all day. McCormick now tackled by, looks to be Tommy Logan. And by Damien Joyce will have another throw of the ball in the air. It's Clark who did well. Jakes who actually got the tap. Plenty of players around the ball at the moment. And umpire Damien Joyce has no choice but to come in and take control of the footy one more time. So just things have died down a little bit now. Certainly the sting out of this game. Have to give credit to the umpires for taking the sting out of a football match that looked set to explode about 10 minutes ago. This is Donaldson. Good handball for Rowe. His kick rolled across the face of goals and goes out of play to be thrown back in. Left forward pocket for the Bloods.
A lot of players around the ball. Hard to see any clear breakaway being achieved here with so many players around the ball. Glenelg bottling it up. Again, not too much happening. Players sitting on it, being tackled. Lenny Clark got the ball down there, but to no clear advantage to West Adelaide. Clark and Button at it again, but over the top. Glenelg got the knockout. Braden Fisher in there. Braden Fisher again turns, kicks kicks over his left shoulder, a point for West Adelaide. Quick kick in by Glenelg to a fast lead. This is Kane on a half-back flank. Quick handball. McConnell kicks the ball down to the wing. Kirkby, nice lead, nice mark. Turns on that left foot. Oh, beautiful mark. He's paid a push in the back against Ben. Did you see that?
Well, it was hands in the back. It wasn't a push in the back. It was that hands in the back rule. But I didn't think, I didn't think there was a lot in that. Anyway, West Adelaide with the free kick.
Back well penalised.
Hutchins ran into all sorts of trouble. Got a handball backwards. West Adelaide going to clear it here through numbers. Succession of handballs, and the kick eventually comes forward looking for Bricknell. It was McConnell who spoiled brilliantly. Mitchell gets on the end of it. It's a handball to Ruwalt. It's all Glenelg down here in the forward line, and Richard Douglas will take a mark. Handball to his mate James Seller unselfishly, who runs into an open goal and kicks it. Kicks Glenelg's 20th. They are 20 goals, 16, 136, leading West Adelaide 6-6-42. We are talking 94 points here at Challenge Recruitment Oval in one of the most one-sided games of football we have seen at SANFL this year.
Does James Seller owe Richard Douglas a drink after the game for that? I think Richard Douglas could have kicked the goal himself, but very generously handballed over to Seller, who goaled it.
Just good for his, I guess, confidence coming back in for his first game after injury.
Caelan Buckley over to Braden Fisher, over to Peter Walsh. West Adelaide into attack. Dean Galea didn't present himself. Strong mark to Jeff Smith of Glenelg in defence. Runs the ball out. Looking for a loose player here on the wing. Justin McConnell, handballs on. Kane clears down the wing. Long raking kick. Beautiful kick to position. Not quite hitting Logan. Daniel Kerr over to Peter Walsh. Glenelg come out with the ball. That's Richard Douglas over to Brett Backwell. Kicks it into Ben Moore.
25.
The Glenelg crowd very happy with that decision. Scott Bricknell, who hasn't been West Adelaide's worst player today, came in late, deservedly penalised for that late tackle on Ben Moore. This will be Glenelg's 21st goal. Ben Moore puts it straight through the middle. Another one for the primary school.
And we have a century here at Glenelg. The margin is 100 points at Glenelg. 21 goals, 16, 142, leading West Adelaide 6-6-42. A margin of 100 points exactly. And, well, for those of us who rocked up at this game at the start of the day, would have never expected in a million years that this was going to be a 100-point margin. Glenelg have been very impressive. West Adelaide have been extremely disappointing as a new football comes back out into the ground. But 100 points in the margin here, the absolute century, the proverbial dacking, I suppose, when you're talking about league football.
No doubt we'll hear the phrases back to basics and all of that, but West Adelaide got a lot of work to do to be competitive. Glenelg clear it away from the middle. Kick into the forward line. That's Richard Douglas turning on a Throttens. Kicks it, centres it. Alex Hutchins gets the ball out to Braden Fisher, out to Caelan Buckley. West move it forward. Cupido takes the ball there. Thinks about kicking. Long kick. Out of bounds. Out of bounds on the full from Cupido. Kicked it from 55 metres. Glenelg clear quickly. That's Kane taking the mark in the back pocket. Over to Brett Backwell. Good competing by Kerr. Oh, and we might get an out on the full on that one. Daniel Kerr.
What was Sam Rudolph thinking there? That wasn't Sam Rudolph. He actually, it was Daniel Kerr who kicked it out in the full. Anyway, the ball's with Mitchell now. Goes to Kirkby, just the attacking side of centre. Rudolph roved it well, tried to handball it to himself, but unfortunately he handballed it over the boundary line. It'll be thrown back in. We're at right half forward for the Tigers with a 100-point lead. And we're just about to head into time on of this final quarter. A final quarter that cannot conclude quick enough for the Bloods, John.
Correct, Ben. It's been a poor showing today. Glenelg, though, have shown a really good setup here. Good line-up, skills, pace. West Adelaide have made them look very good. There's a handball onto McConnell. Runs into attack and kicks a point from 20 metres on the run. Perhaps should have kicked that one, but we won't hold that against him at this stage of the proceedings. Ben Hollands to kick the ball back into play, looking for leads. None forthcoming. Story of West Adelaide today. Longer kick. Peter.
Walsh.
Peter Walsh. The name escaped me for a minute. How could I miss that red hair? Peter Walsh kicks it to the wing. West Adelaide into attack. Is that James Izard? Yep. Kicks it long into attack. Cupido's around the place, but Galea goes up. Couldn't grab it. Glenelg again, mop up. Cupido. Umpire's blown the whistle. Didn't see what the free was for. It's against West Adelaide, going to Glenelg. And Douglas
It was off the ball. It wasn't sure what it was for, John. It was definitely off the ball. He's got the ball to Benny Kane. He goes short for Logan. They're working up the grandstand side here at Glenelg. Logan pushes the run, did well, got the handball now to Smith. He's run himself into a bit of trouble. The handball was excellent. Release Logan. He's got time to work it up to half forward, looking for Kirkby. Sets himself, couldn't take the mark. It was a good spoil from Izard. And Ty Allen probably a bit lucky that he wasn't done for taking that ball out of bounds on the full. I reckon he just shinned it over the line. But the boundary umpire was happy enough that he's going to take possession of it and throw it back into play. Right half forward for the Tigers. They lead by 101 points, John.
Throw in on the 50 metre. Jakes for West Adelaide. Good tap out by Kirkby. Down to Backwell. Can't clear it. Kirkby again over to Backwell. This is a good combination for Glenelg. He centres the ball wisely. Looking for Ben Moore. Taking a good strong mark there. Under pressure. Sure hands. One grab. That's what you like to see. Unselfish play by Backwell, centering the ball into the zone. Ben Moore grabbing a strong mark under pressure.
You're absolutely right. Brett Backwell's been awesome today. He's had plenty of the football. Those fluorescent boots have covered plenty of territory to get the footy, but you probably could have thought that he might have earned himself a shot there from the pocket, but instead centred the ball. Ben Moore to come in now and kick another goal for the Tigers. 22 goals 17, 149 Glenelg. They lead West 6-6-42. The margin is 107 points. One of the all-time great blowouts between these two clubs. Glenelg absolutely dominant all over the ground.
Well into the last quarter here. West Adelaide will be looking forward to the siren and getting off the ground and contemplating next week, because today they haven't come to play today, and sure, they're down on numbers and they've got a young side, a young developing squad, but they haven't really given a lot today, and hopefully they can come back from this.
Damien Cupido off the ground. I suspect we've seen him for the last time today. It was Greiger who got the tap, tried to follow up, but picked up now by Seller. Well tackled. Ty Allen was taken too high and will get a free kick. Plays it on quickly. Gets the ball to Mitchell. His handball is to McConnell. Runs to 50. Goes bang. Wobbles one. This could be a goal. It's a goal. Jeremy Jakes is claiming that he touched it. I think deep down he knew he hadn't. It was probably the worst kick Justin McConnell's put on a footy all day, but somehow or other it just wobbled its way over the head of the attacking players for the Bays and through for another goal. The margin now 113 points. Justin McConnell kicking another one. It's Glenelg's 23rd. They are 23-17. 150 something. They are leading West Adelaide 6-6-42. There's 113 points, so it's 23-17, 155, 6-6-42. We've played 23 minutes of this final term at Challenge Recruitment Oval.
Even McConnell wouldn't have said that's his best ever kick. It was a bit of a mongrel kick, but it got the desired result. Jeremy Jakes at fullback said he touched it, but the goal umpire had nothing of it. Scrimmage develops. Ben Holland's at the bottom of the pack. Hasn't been there often enough today. Ball thrown up. Centre of the ground. Ball fisted forward straight to a Glenelg player on the wing. Is that Richard Douglas? Kane kicks it forward. Kirkby nearly marks it. The big ruckman over to Ben Moore again. Is this another goal to Ben Moore? The crowd tells the story.
Ben Moore, it must be his birthday.
It's a procession at Glenelg. That's 24-17, 161 to 6 goals, 6-42.
So Ben Moore has kicked 3 of Glenelg's last 4 goals. He's actually got forward a bit. He's kicked 3 goals, 2 in this quarter. And the margin's 119 points. We're back in the centre now. Greiger will go up in ruck against Seller. Greiger did well to get ahead of the line, then gets a tap down to the defensive side. Hutchins is well tackled. Mitchell tries to take it out of the air, but it's not Mitchell in actual fact, but it's the umpire in who will come and take the ball off Tommy Logan. Greiger and ruck, hassled out of it by Seller. Hollands did well, showed the class that we know he's capable of. Gets around a couple of those in all sorts of trouble and then gave the footy away. Tom Logan on his non-preferred right boot, gets it to Kirkby. He slipped over at the wrong moment. Ben Moore, surely not. Gets the ball to Mark Ruwalt, does he? Yes, lovely catch, Ruwalt.
Man of the moment, Ben Moore. He's really ignited the forward lines. Not that the Glenelg forward lines needed igniting this quarter, but he's really been the right guy in the right place.
You reckon he might be pointing his number out to Mark Micken at the moment with how many touches he's had at the forward line. Could be a permanent role for him later in his career. One of the older men of the Glenelg Football Club.
Running around like a 19-year-old, not a 29-year-old that he is.
Anyway, it's Mark Ruwalt, number 17, who comes in, takes his shot for goal, 30 metres out, directly in front. Wobbled it a little bit, but it's good enough. Goal umpire likes it. It's another goal to Glenelg. Mark Ruwalt kicks another one. The margin now is 125 points. It is Glenelg 25-17, 167, leading West Adelaide 6-6-42. And you've got to say, West Adelaide kicking with what is still the assistance of a breeze have just been completely non-existent in this last quarter.
Absolutely, yep. No fight in West Adelaide this quarter. This is like the second quarter when Glenelg were kicking into the breeze as well. They're just playing smart football, running in numbers, backing each other up. Ball up in the centre. Jeremy Jakes. No, it wasn't. It was... Ooh, I can't place that. Kicks the ball forward. It was Benny Greiger.
Yep.
Ball's out of bounds. Half forward for West Adelaide. Grandstand side. Can't get a lot of excitement into the game at the moment if you're a West supporter. Ball thrown in. Seller going up for Glenelg. Gets the tap down. Simon McCormick tackled the Glenelg player there. Umpire calls it line ball. Throws it up. Punch straight out. Glenelg clear from Kirkby. Good strong mark.
Good hands. So it's Rory Kirkby with the ball. Right half back for Glenelg. He goes short, finds Logan, who has an opportunity to run on. Walsh just corrals him enough to hold him up. Have to take his kick from the set. Goes short, finds Mitchell. He's got a little bit of room to move and booms one, as he likes to do, to the top of the square, into the hot spot. Hands on it. Oh, could have been Kirkby. Could have been taken high, was Ben Moore. Umpire says play it on. Picked up now by Douglas. Could have thrown it. Couple of handballs. Oh, hit the post was Ruwalt.
Umpire might have missed a couple of free kicks there, Ben. Bit of a throw, bit of a legging. Free kick could have gone either way. We're not critical of the umpires today. They've done a good job.
So 126 points. Now the margin. Mark Ruwalt with the last two scores, a goal and then hitting the post there. We've played about 27 minutes of this final term. It's Kerr with the ball. Handball to Jakes. He goes short and wide, finds Fisher. Just prepared to share the ball around amongst themselves at the moment, West Adelaide. I think they just want to hang on to the footy and not do any more chasing. So it's Fisher now, decides to work the ball along the line, looking for Hollands, finds him. It was a very accurate kick. Ben Hollands, been a wonderful performer for West Adelaide over the years. Hasn't been too bad today. He's tried his hardest. Mules cut off his kick, was roved by Kane. He got a handball to Hinge. Hinge goes short and finds Mitchell. He's got a bit of space to move.
Booming.
Goes long with his kick, looking for Button. Couldn't take the mark. Picked up by Backwell. Goal to Backwell. Points to the snouts on the hill. He doesn't mind getting involved with the crowd. It's another goal to Glenelg. They go to 26 goals 18, 174. Leading West 6-6-42. 26 goals 18, 174. Who would have thought? 28 minutes into this last quarter, another goal to Brett Backwell, and this has been an absolute rout.
Button didn't take the mark then, but made sure the ball came down to Backwell, who really snapped that up, and the true pro that he is, finished it off beautifully.
132 points the margin, and Glenelg have kicked 9 goals into the breeze in this last quarter. The margin at three-quarter time was 82 points. It is now 132 points. They've added 50 points to the margin against the wind. It's been very, very impressive stuff from Glenelg, and pretty listless from West Adelaide. They go forward now through Hollands. Getting his hands on the ball was Willits. Couldn't take the mark. First to it, Galea. Corrals the ball along the ground. Gets a handball to Bricknell. He'll give a handball to Smith. They're under pressure here, West Adelaide. Wonderful smother. It was a brilliant smother from Logan, I believe it was. What a fantastic performance. And the ball is now over the boundary line to be thrown back in. Still in West Adelaide's attacking area. But, the effort from Logan, if that's who it was, is a long way from our vantage point. Was
getting
very,
dark,
very
Ben.
impressive.
Getting dark here at the Bay. Hard to pick up the players, but great defence from Glenelg. Throw in happens. Out of bounds again. Peter Walsh is down there for West Adelaide in the forward pocket. West Adelaide can't wait for the siren to sound to end this game. Boundary throw in. It's Seller versus Clark. Not sure who got that. Kicked clear from defence by Glenelg. Over to Kirkby. Gee, he's played a good game, this fella. There's the siren to finish the game.
So the siren sounded. It's the end of the game. It has put West Adelaide out of their misery because they have been absolutely belted to the tune of 132 points. And as the Tigers song rings out, we'll say goodbye. It's Ben Hook and John Callaghan to let you know that Glenelg have run out winners 26-18, 174 to West Adelaide 6-6-42, a margin of 132 points. We hope you've enjoyed Pine Lodge's coverage of this game from Challenger Recruitment Oval. Goodbye and good afternoon.